like that shirt.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, everybody, welcome.
My actor friend, he likes this one too. I keep telling him he's going to have to peel it off my body, which he might do someday.
Yeah. All right, getting connected over here, getting connected over on Instagram, taking a look, streaming live. You're on the dumbshow.com/live. We looking 5x5 over there, big guy?
So I am not signed in. I'm seeing Olivia and you from last night. Oh, wait, there I am.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Oh, that's awesome.
Dude, I know. It's so cool. When you sign in, it's even better. Let me just post this to Facebook. We'll get the countdown clock started. Been an eventful week. Got some news. We're going to be able to show you guys. Okay, hold on. Where am I? Let me see. There it is. Sharing this right now to the channels, Leeroy and Matt. We're going to be able to tell you guys about the documentary. And we're excited to do that. And then Leeroy and I are going to talk about it. Can't tell you who's going to be there. Just know that it's going to be some pretty big names. And we're pretty excited about it. Let's get to it. Topics tonight. Antifa attack, throw blue dye on MAGA supporters. Left-wing violence in the United States. Interesting. It's going to be the topic on the documentary. Bus break-in. Mom breaks into a bus that was sitting there for 2 hours. MTG was uninvited. She was Alanis Morissette.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah, you make it easy.
Wish you could see Marjorie Taylor Greene jump off of that same building.
Wouldn't that be nice? I mean, we don't want her to, like, just a second-story window. She can Clancy herself.
You can AI it, and I'll still be just as gratified.
Yeah, she could Clancy herself if she wants to. That's fine. You know, just cut your own throat and jump out the window and paralyze. That's totally cool. As long as she doesn't have to use her mouth anymore. Fischer versus Peterson. Ty Fish puts his target on Jordan Peterson, and it's so good. It's so funny. You're going to love it. And a whole bunch more, including a shootout that happened. A guy took Tri-County police chase, went in a house. He robbed a Brinks truck in Ohio and then took a woman hostage, and the cop barrels in, and oh boy, it is next level. So Leeroy's on tonight. Olivia's off. We'll see you. Leeroy, say hi to everybody.
Hi to everybody.
So please, folks, this is the key. You got to share this right now. If you have not been over to the dumbshow.com live, get over there right now. Looks like we're doing okay. Got quite a few people over there. So go on over, say hello, and we'll see you there in just a few minutes. We'll be right back.
Are you tired of being so confused? You feel like your mouth knows I've done the lies on the evening news. Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends. Agree or disagree, stop offering me. 'Cause I'm everything you want. Damn, show what you need. I won't tell no lies. Back up on the facts with truth. And if you can't get down with that, you must be somebody's
I did this last time. Forgot to put all these damn files in the place. I moved my folders and then this happened. But anyway, here's the chicks on the right.
Hey everybody, it's the chicks on the right here. We had such a blast on the Don't Unfriend Me show.
Check them out at The Dumb Show on social media or thedumbshow.com.
They stream weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern, and you guys, they are your people.
They totally are. And you can find us in all the places by visiting chicksontheright.com/links and watch us weekdays at 8 a.m. Eastern.
The Dumb Show has a 5-star rating, a Diamond Transparency Award, and over 500 reviews. Thousands of shirts, coffee, books, and hats sold. We don't sell crap. We sell stuff built to last. Shop now at thedumbshow.com.
What is going on, everybody? Hope everyone's doing well. Got a good show for you tonight. Coming in 5 by 5, Scott Lloyd will be here on the 1st. Damani Felder will also be here on September 4th. Yeah, Damani Felder going to be in the house. He's going to be actually in the house, literally staying at the house in October. Going to come out and hang out with the fam damily.
That's the 4th.
Yeah,
Might
we'd love to
make that one.
Dude, that'd be awesome. We'd love to have I'd love to have both y'all up here. That would be freaking ridiculously cool.
I love
going back. Yeah, me too. Going back to the pre-show real quick. Matt Purdy will be in the house September 7th. Cynthia Scott. One hell of a book. We'll talk about it. Idaho MAGA Mom. You may have seen her. She looks like an Egyptian goddess. She's an amazing woman. She's also wicked smart. And then Chad Prather, October 5th. The Big Get. That's going to be a fun show. He's pretty damn cool. $300 is up on the board, folks. We want to get donations early. You'll notice a new little thing when it comes to the donations. Leeroy will choke his chicken every time we get a donation, which is always fun for everyone to watch. If you haven't seen it, you got to pay for it. And you can donate with an all-new Don't Unfriend Me Show donation board. It's about the simplest thing in the world. It pops out. If you're watching over on thedumbshow.com/live, it literally takes 1 second for you to walk over there, pop it out, and donate. Leeroy, I'm sorry, I forgot to put up your thingy. It'll be 2 seconds. Station identification, folks. It's right there. And applied to All Saints. Welcome, buddy. How are you, man? I'm sorry we missed you on Tuesday. It was kind of a crazy thing, and Olivia wanted to be on because of Amber May and all that stuff. So thanks for being patient.
No, it's been good, and I only caught part of that show, but it was really good. Yeah. Things are really well this week. I've had a spot of good news, and I am, work is rolling, really busy. Yeah, which is job security.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Good. Well, we'll get into it. Folks, dumbshow.com/donate. Go over there, take a look. Also go over to the dumbshow.com/live. Join us in chat. We're all over there right now. People are waking up and finally getting in. That's great. But remember, donation, if we hit goal by 9 o'clock, we will automatically go into overtime. We really want to hit that early so we don't have to focus on that crap. So help us out. We'd appreciate it. Okay, so we were talking about this documentary. For those of you who don't know, I got invited to go down to Washington, D.C. It will be in D.C. We're not going to do it here. They're going to put me in front of a camera, and they want me to look respectable. So I'll go down there, put a suit on, and go sit in front of some sort of fireplace and have a pipe and a smoking jacket on with my ascot. And I'll be like, Days of Old with Matthew Spear. Wonderful. Right. Good to have you here. Right. And we get to talk about things like Antifa and talk about Hamas and talk about the anti-Jewish sentiment and the trash that the left has become in their party. All of those things. And I can't tell you who's going to be there. I can tell you that it's going to be every single name you'll recognize. And this is some of the most impactful conservatives. And why in the hell I got invited to this, who knows, who cares? We're just going to do it. So it is put on by Newsmax. Jack and Mandy are directing. It's a 1 full hour show, and it will be everywhere. So we'll play it here. We have authorization. We just can't tell you who's going to participate because we don't have everything. But I will be the first recorded, and that's Thursday. So let's hope they have a makeup guy there because need some touch up. Your thoughts about this? You had a question about this.
That's the thing. You glow. Yeah, I just had a question. This is Matt's show, right? When we roll the credits, he's the one that says HMFIC. He's the one that has put the most. And when I say the most, I'm talking like 95% of the blood, sweat, and tears into making this thing work. So there's a difference between somebody who's used to speaking, right? Which is normally, we come from the realm of Navy intelligence specialists, right? And that's what they do. They give briefs to high-level people, admirals, captains, that kind of thing, in some cases politicians. And so it's very natural for us to want to just, speak off the cuff. And Christine Clark donated $5, says, thank you for the show. Love y'all. No, Christine, thank you. We love you. Thank you.
Thank you,
much.
Christine. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Those are going to
Thank you so
pop up.
much.
We got to listen for them. You'll hear the cha-ching.
Okay.
It's very subtle, very soft.
Yeah. It's a little softer. I like that.
Okay.
So, but because you've put so much into this, and now, I'm going to say it might feel like there's just more on the line. So does that make you any more nervous? Are you still just as relaxed? Is this the same old Matthew that we get to experience on the nightly?
Well, I'll tell you, after almost 5 years of knowing you, it's the first time you've ever called me Matthew. So it was, I kind of liked it. I got a little tingle. Just want to let you know. Usually it's Matt or fuckhead, but nice to hear Matthew.
Either way.
No, I'm not nervous in front of a camera. That's gone. I remember my first time on RSBN. I was a little. People said I was nervous. I wasn't nervous in any way, shape, or form. I didn't have dry mouth or anything. I just the original, the first question I didn't love, so I didn't nail it. And then right after that, you said it was the best interview you had seen, and I'm like, well, I don't know about that, but it was good. I felt it was good. And then the second time RSBN, it was nothing. It was just like, and the third time it was nothing. I don't know. I've spoken in front of 50,000 people before, so it doesn't make me nervous to get up and talk. What I'm hoping is that my delivery, I'll have seconds.
Right.
I'll have 10 seconds to say something profound, and that's all they'll show. And so I have to be emphatic in my delivery. I've got to make sure that my
landing.
My points have to be better than everybody else's. And I want them to be like, okay, we've put Matt in this too much. And I feel comfortable doing that, especially on the topics. I mean, the whole adage is just like, it's a recipe now for chocolate chip cookies. It's really not hard to go back to the 1300s till today and recite what the Democrat Party has done, and even go back to ancient Babylonia in the 350s and demonstrate that these socialist ideas and these people who were moving against governments and moving against cultural values and ideology and trying to segment normalcy is not anything new. So I think I'll offer some Middle East perspective. I imagine this is going to be a green and a red episode. That's what I would imagine. Communism and Islam. The two biggest threats to the United States. That's what I think the message probably will be. And I feel comfortable in both of those topics. I want to represent properly. That's all.
Yeah. And that makes sense. And to your point, I mean, if you go back even as far as early biblical times, we always hear that there's that one famous meme that speaks to, who put the meme out? It was, who was the David, he was in one of the school shootings. David Hogg.
David Hogg. Yeah. Hogster, the
he,
Hogginator.
He had put the meme out there that basically said, God never wanted anyone to have an AR-15. And somebody had replied and did a screen capture that basically said, and if he had an AR-15, he probably would have been killed by his own government. And so it's those types of responses that we hope to see, but in real live form, like in real time.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be. My understanding is that this is going to be like a 2-hour interview to capture probably 2 or maybe 2 minutes of content. So I'm comfortable in that theater. I'm like, that's plenty of time for me to do this. And, he asked, he's like, do you want the questions in advance? And I'm like, not really, but I'll take it in this case, because it's for prosperity's sake. This is going to be internal. This is it's going to be internal. In its overall design. It's going to be on the internet forever. It's going to be broadcast and rebroadcast like all of their stuff is. So, sure, I'll prepare. And, what's great is that I've got a plethora of books to pull from But it gives me a chance to sit down and write. So once I put it on paper, it's going to be with me, and I'll be able to do it. No, I'm not nervous. I just want to represent the show, and I want to represent the people who've put me here in this chair, and want to do it right. That's all. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And not that you need this advice, but something we had somebody in the flight who was just getting ready to give a briefing. We had a bunch of 4-stars that came around the building this past week because of an event. And we have a younger person in the flight who was very nervous about giving her portion of the brief. And I same advice. I was just like, look, when you're talking to a whole room full of people, it can be a little intimidating. So instead of addressing everyone, what you do is you look for that highest ranking person in the room, and then you eliminate everybody else, and you're just explaining what's on the board behind you or what's on the screen behind you to that one person. Nobody else matters. That way it seems more like a conversation rather than a presentation where everyone's like, you don't want that. You want to keep everyone engaged. And if you can have that conversation just kind of on the fly, it's so much more fluid and natural.
Well, that's the way, I try to do everything. I don't try to, I mean, I do the monotone stuff fairly well, and I can probably lull pretty much anyone to sleep if I need to. But, I don't want to be, I don't imagine myself being boring. That's not, I really don't think that's my MO. I just have to present in a way that is engaging. You've got to be liked. And I'm not an easy person to like when you hear me for the first time. I'm just not. I don't smile. I don't have an easygoing disposition. I'm very intense. And some people find that admirable. But command presence is usually not received very well. It's just not. Like, for instance, I met a guy getting a haircut today, and he had his hair down to here, silver, and was wearing board shorts and flip-flops and blue eyes and handsome. And he walks in, and he's a friend of my barber, and he's like, we're singing Def Leppard. He comes, he goes, I love Def Leppard. And he goes, yeah, this is my best friend, and he's seen Def Leppard like 26 times. I'm like, oh my God, hey, me too. And he was just like, hey, just so kind and so warm. And I'm like, that's a guy that you would want to do a video like this. But then, I as long as I don't come off like Ted Cruz, I'll be okay.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because Ted Cruz is like a slightly warm fish. So
you get the vibe from him a lot that there's some level of, and I'm going to use the term, but I'm only using it because I can't think of a better word. But there's a certain level of condescending that he's trying to explain it to somebody who may not understand, and he makes you, in his tone, makes you keenly aware of that. Ted Cruz is a very smart guy, but I can get that tone, like I can see where that would be interpreted in that way.
Yeah. Well, like I said, somewhere between Jeremy Boring and Ted Cruz, and I'll be happy. Like I think Jeremy is on the other side of serious, even when he tries to be serious. And then Ted, who is boring. I know the live counter says we only have 3 people on, but that's impossible. So something's wrong with our live counter up on top. I'm going to figure it out. But
I'm seeing 63 on this end.
Oh, I'm talking about the dumbshow.com live. But anyway, we've got plenty to do. So far, $5 on the board, folks. If you haven't had a chance, let's get that done. We don't want to. We already missed it this week by 200, and we made up a little bit last night. But we sure don't want to do that again. That's no bueno.
Make me choke this chicken for you.
You're overthinking it, Matt. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I was asked a question and I answered it. In fact, I haven't given it one thought at all. So I'm not overthinking this in any way, shape, or form. Nope. But I appreciate the vote of confidence.
What you thinking about?
Yeah, I don't do that. I don't get nervous. Yeah. Like I don't. I just
same.
It's like what people think of me is really irrelevant. I want people to think about what I say, not necessarily what they think of me personally. But you've got to be affable, right? You got to be charming, and I will. Yeah. I'll look at the camera. I'll lick my eyebrows. I'll do all those things. All right, let's get to it. Perfectly put. We know the Clancy trial, essentially closing arguments. I don't even know if they're done yet. Who cares? I really don't care. Just this is perfectly put, and this is to the women out there. To all the women out there, we have got to get you guys I couldn't get on the live one. I don't know what that means, Patty. Patty, what's that mean? Thedumbshow.com live? All you got to do is use your email address or use Facebook or Twitter to sign in. It's super easy. Let me know. Let me know if you have any problems, and we'll take care of it. That's what we're here for. We're trying to figure it out. All right, so let's get going. See? You pay for Netflix if you watch us 40 hours a month. Support the show you actually watch, thedumbshow.com/donate. So it reminds you when we haven't had a donation in 10 minutes, it says, hey, let's get going. And that's going to go faster and faster and faster and keep reminding because I'm sick of doing it. Perfectly put. Watch this. Listen to this. I've been saying this to women a long time. You spent a long time to prove to men that you weren't emotional creatures and could hold yourself as being professional. And I agree with this lady that you guys are doing irreparable damage to the matriarch. Watch this.
You guys can keep blowing up my comments with this whole, ooh, well, men commit 90% of violent crimes and men do this and men do that. When a man rapes a woman or murders his children, you don't have a group of men wearing blue rallying outside the courthouse saying, it wasn't him, he wasn't in his right state of mind, it was his testosterone. You don't see men, oh, well, he had PTSD, so it wasn't him, he's the victim. No, you don't see that, okay? Women are coming on here and saying, oh, well, yeah, Lindsay Clancy just murdered her kids because of postpartum and her hormones. Do you know how bad that makes women look? And do you know how bad a million women coming on here defending Lindsay Clancy saying, I am Lindsay Clancy. We have literally been trying to prove to men for years that our hormones do not affect our capacity to make decisions or whatever else. But now you guys are all coming on here saying, oh, well, actually, it might make you kill your kids, though. That is what I have a problem with. Mental health is real. Women need mental health support. But the line is drawn once you kill all 3 of your kids. And when men murder their families, there's not a whole group of men standing outside a courthouse wearing blue saying, oh, we stand with him. He's a victim. He was neglected by the medical field because he had a mental illness and he needed help and no one helped him. That doesn't happen. That is my whole point. The fact that there are so many women on here, you guys can't just say, you know what, yeah, she's evil and she killed her kid. Like, postpartum does not make you do that. That is my problem. You women are making us look so bad. You're sending us back 100 years. We've been trying to prove to men since the beginning of time that our hormones do not affect our ability to be leaders or strong women or good mothers. But now we have a whole entire bunch of...
You might need a couple centuries to make that happen because we're aware. Sherry says, I'm still having problems on the dumbshoe.com. That's because it's the dumbshow.com live. If you put in the dumb shoe, it's not going to go there. Getting both chat and visual at the same time. I don't know what that means.
You could try the dumb converse.
Yeah, you got to be very descriptive. Are you on a phone? Are you on a desktop? Are you turning it to the side? Turn your phone. There's not an app in the world that allows you to see chat and the video at the same time in 6x19. You have to turn it to the side, rotate it, and now it'll have the video. I've already programmed that to the left and the chat to the right. Try that. Turn your phone to the side. If you can't rotate your phone, it's because you have a setting on your phone that won't allow you to rotate it. You need to turn that off.
Feminists coming on here saying, oh, but actually.
Chatterbox donated
Chatterbox.
$10. Yes. Says, happy evening, guys. She is a dumpster fire. Lock her away.
Outstanding. We do appreciate that. Thank you so much. Let's watch the rest. $10.
You might kill your kids, though, because of postpartum, because, like, your hormones and stuff. That is making us look terrible. And I don't understand how women don't realize what you guys are pushing out. I don't think that women aren't capable of being strong leaders. I know for a fact that we are. But then when you have thousands of women coming on here saying, oh, actually, no, your hormones do affect you and they might just make you kill your children, you are not realizing the damage that that's actually doing to women overall.
All right. So that's something I don't want to do on the video is repeat myself as much as she did. We got it. We understand. You had a great point. Why make a 4-minute video when you can make it 2? I know that I can be a little bit verbose and stuff, but make your point and shut up. Good job. Good point. It's not being so damn emotional, chick. Your thoughts on that? Your thoughts that this is damaging to women, that this, I made a comment that the patriarch, well, I think husbands are going to think about this. I think husbands, when they see their wife get that twinge or get angry or get frustrated, that they might just think, what about what this lady did? Could my wife be there? Could she have postpartum depression? Could she be? And because now it's going to be such a hyperactive reaction to this because it's everywhere. It's just like everybody with October 7th. Everyone sees Jew now. Jews did it. It's like, oh my God, Dolly Parton died. But did a Jew kill her?
Right.
It's just, this is now the hyperbole starts, and it's going to be centered around this because it's in our face. Your thoughts on this? One second. Hey, Tammy, don't send in donations for me when a video's playing. Let me control the donations tonight. I'm trying to get this thing all set up, and I really appreciate you, and I love you, and you're an amazing human being. But if you're hitting approve, let's wait a little bit. I want to make sure that system's working because it's actually, there's an algorithm that will, when a video's playing, it will not put in the donation. It recognizes a video's playing, and it will wait for a pause. It's really cool. So I want to kind of wait, okay? Thanks, bud. Go ahead, Leeroy. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry.
No, you're good. I'm not sure that I agree with her completely. I am in agreement of what she is trying to convey, which is like, we seem to have a double standard here in the United States with regard to violent crime versus gender. And true enough. But when you break it down, like the most vulnerable, the most emotional and hormonal time for men, right, seems to be between the ages of like 12 to 18. That's when things are like just on fire within your own body. And I think most men can understand what I'm getting at. That's when, you see a lot of gang violence, and it always seems to come from that general age group. And is that tied to hormones? I don't know. But if you're looking at it statistically, right? If we leave the emotional and the blame portion of this, throw that to the side for a hot second. If you can just say, look, the most emotional time in a man's life is between 12 and 18, and that's when they happen to be the most violent, right? Then we look at the same comparison for a woman, which almost certainly seems to be post-pregnancy and perimenopause, women in their 40s who were just had a major event happen to their body. I get it. I understand it. Is it an excuse? No. She should absolutely have to pay for what she did. But, to this girl's point, I'm not sure that I agree with the messaging.
In which way?
Well, I think that she makes it very clear that women shouldn't be given a pass. And that part I can get behind. But she's almost trying to, I don't know, say, I didn't like the way she delivered it, I guess. It was maybe more appropriate.
Well, that's because she's like 12.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it'd be like a 7-year-old trying to tell me how dangerous I could become after I become hormonal. I'm like, you're not there yet, your own self. You know what I mean?
Well, no, I don't. Because she's not 12. I was making a joke. She's 26, 27, whatever she is. My point is, she's right. In the sense that there are women, there are millions of women who are supporting this chick. And they are living vicariously through her because they somehow shared a level of depression.
Right.
That affects 1 out of 1,000 people with postpartum depression, which does not even affect those odds. The numbers are pretty astronomical to have psychosis through PPD, because PPD is common, but it's not so regular that it's every pregnancy. And then it's 1 in 1,000 to have some form of psychotic episode or psychosis or detachment from reality. And then to have someone who murders and is completely, having people speak to them in ruins and glyphs from the lower denizen planes to tell them to kill their kids so they can be together with them in heaven and shit, and then wake up and be completely normal and lucid.
Right.
And not demonstrate any of these things beforehand that showed that she had a psychotic break or an episode, but have the presence of mind to remove her husband from the area and take
That's
each
premeditated,
kid,
yeah.
take
Yeah.
each kid down in the basement and strangle them so hard that their eyeballs popped out and their brains literally went through their cranium because so much pressure was applied to an 8-month-old baby. And then take the next kid down there, and as they fight and they struggle and are unable to talk, as the person who is supposed to love them and care for them and protect them strangles the life out of them until they go black. And women are using her as a martyr. I think that every single woman who props this lady up as some form of George Floyd for the white liberal woman retard, you're sick. So I just don't think we've thought about this enough. And I don't think, and here's my thought, is that the entire Western civilization is going to die because of white liberal women until white men are no longer intimidated and afraid to say something.
Yes, absolutely. That's a fair point. But I think it was just the delivery, maybe the way that she either, it was in her tone or I don't know. Something was a put off for me with regard to that girl. But the messaging, I could get behind about 80% of that.
Fair enough. Yeah, delivery. Yeah. We just established before the show that delivery is important, and this is why, even though I'm not really worried about it, delivery is important. Good point.
To your point, because we know now that, you know, perimenopause, post-pregnancy, PPD, those are such vulnerable times for a woman. I think that is the time that we, as men, really need to kind of keep an eye on things. Women talk about it all the time. You know, if they're going to go walking through the park, they always take a buddy, or they take a flashlight with them, something along those lines. Should men be equally prepared if that's your baby? Should men say, you know what, I'm gonna hang around the house a little bit more, just because? You have to look. Men have to keep their head on a swivel and kind of be in tune to what some of those signs could be. And it sucks that it's gotten to this point, but this dad, this guy is just lost all three of his kids.
Yeah.
Right. And his wife, obviously, and I'm sitting here telling you, I absolutely feel like it was premeditated. She sent him out of the house to go run an errand and then made sure that there was enough time. Right. Totally creepy, in my opinion.
It's weird.
I think that, as much as, think about it, if the roles were reversed, would a woman stick up for a man had he done that to his kids? Absolutely not. So why are women coming to her defense?
Well, yeah, wasn't there that WWF star who went and killed his family and killed his kids, and you didn't see it, and he was very popular with men. We didn't go out there and light a candle for him. We were like, that guy's a piece of shit. Yeah,
you killed your own kids, you need to pay.
Yeah, when Gonzalez did it, the tight end for the Patriots, when he went out and killed, nobody cared. Nobody celebrated Ted Bundy. He's not like in the inner circle. We don't put a toast to him. Like when we're sitting around doing skulls and bones, folks, please support the joke. That means that we haven't had a donation in almost 20 minutes. Come on, dummies. We need you. Keep the show free by supporting tonight. It's amazing. I know it goes by fast, but in 20 minutes, not even $1. That's crazy, right? The show is just literally just like it's going and it needs to be paid. We need some help. Let's move on from this. I know you guys have some Clancy. Hold on a second. I know you guys have some Clancy. I can't, dude. I got to keep the show moving. Hold on a second. I know you guys got some Clancy fatigue, but there is something I do want to show you more about that, and then we'll go from there. Go ahead, bud.
Last point, and it's something that I felt was it's relevant enough. We make horror movies to describe the evils from serial killers, from all of these male killers, these men that go way out of their way to murder their women, their families. We make horror movies out of that, and I think it's a stigma within society. It's kind of a red flag, right? We need to do more of that when we see this kind of thing, to demonize the women just as much, not all women, just the ones who are guilty of this kind of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, I completely agree with you. Here is the closing arguments from the attorney, just if you haven't had a chance to see it, and then we're going to move on from this Clancy thing. Here it is.
Just think of that. The being strangled.
Sorry, prosecutor.
The pain and the confusion that they're going through, and it's being done by their mom. Their mom is the one that's hurting them. Their mom is the one that's killing them. That's extreme atrocity and cruelty. She didn't see them in that moment as individual human beings with rights, with dreams, with futures, individually belonging to them. You heard about the 3 kids. Cora wanted to be a doctor and a mom. Dawson wanted to be a firefighter. Callan never got the chance to dream. Who knows what future he would have dreamed for himself. She killed them, and she left them there on the floor with the bands around their necks. She didn't bring them up to their beds and put them with their favorite stuffed animal and cover them up gently and lovingly, leaving them peacefully there. No. She left them discarded on the basement floor like broken toys because she was done playing the game. You know to a moral certainty, she is guilty.
All right, thank you, counsel. Now,
as
the jury can see,
we already know she's guilty. She openly admitted she's not challenging the assertion that she committed these atrocities. She's just saying, I don't want to spend the rest of my life in prison. I wanted a blonde with big tits and a Learjet and a Corvette. Guess what? You don't always get what you want. I don't care what you want. Like the best thing I can say, and then I'm done. I'm done. But I got to keep talking about it because it's important. Whether people agree with this or not, is if it was me, and I found out that I killed my family and I killed my beautiful babies, and I woke up to it, and I woke up out of jumping through a window and cutting my own throat, and I didn't die, and then they're like, you had a psychotic lapse and you strangled your children. I'll tell you that one of the 2 things would happen. One is I'm going to eat a bullet, or I'm going to go to the judge and I'm going to say, I'm guilty. I did this. The proof, I've seen it. And please put me to death. Please complete the thing that I didn't do and have the courage to do properly. And that's it. I'm done. Go ahead, Leeroy. It's all you.
I'm with you. And that prosecutor did a really a good job at trying to make the jury visualize what actually happened. I don't think there's anything that further that needs to be said on that.
Fair enough.
This lady's obviously going to try and swing for a insanity plea, right? And I hope she doesn't get it. So we'll see.
Fair enough. Here is, I think this one. Hold on, let me check it.
That this past presidential election was our Brexit event.
Yeah. Okay. This is it. Listen. Leeroy, do you think that is there ever a time that you would reclaim your history and put on rouge on your cheeks and put on a powdered wig just to flaunt where you came from?
Nope.
Would you wear a genital cuff because you just wanted to let people know that the Spanish Inquisition was really your bag of tea, baby?
No. Why?
Well, because these people, I don't understand why they do this. Here it is. You tell me.
That this past presidential election was our Brexit event. And we need to start working on building the right vehicles. And the right vehicles are Care Florida. We can't just build parties. We have to build up our people in order to build up our country. And so right now is a time where we need to grieve, but we do need to take some time and make space, right? And then come together and start having uncomfortable conversations.
I don't understand the Aunt Jemima do-rag. I don't understand. It looks ridiculous. Like, women wore those in the labor force. Women wore those when they were on the assembly lines, so they didn't get their hair caught into machineries and get their faces stomped in or get rolled down the conveyor belt. They wore them in sub-Saharan Africa because, well, they would put water bottles and baskets and everything else on their head, and it would provide support. And then also their hair wouldn't get tangled in thorns and birchweed and other type of things when they were out hunting and gathering. These had some form of reasoning and semblance. And then in the slave days in the plantation, a lot of them wore them because they were used to wearing them as they were working in the fields, as they were when they were foraging and gathering in sub-Saharan Africa. Leeroy, does this make sense to you? I say the powdered wig because could you ever imagine me doing a press conference in a powdered wig and people are like, what are you wearing? I'm like, I'm reflecting my heritage.
Can't you tell?
Right. Put on some chains and be like, I'm simply embracing who I was. Or maybe I could go ahead and wear a dog collar as they put on Christians before they throw them in the pits. And why are you doing this? And because it looks stupid. Go ahead.
People need to absolutely recognize their history, right? Their cultural history. They need to absolutely recognize it, understand that. But that doesn't mean that you have to live in the past either. And I always struggled with this. Who you were yesterday is not the same person that you are today. Largely, you've changed. Hopefully, you've changed, and that you do that enough times, and that constantly evolving, personality traits. It brings out somebody new, and so for the people that want to hang on to that, or it's something else that bothers me. I get the whole Gettysburg reenactment thing because it's a historical thing. Right, we're referencing a specific moment in time where something historical happened. But the people that absolutely say, "Oh no, the best time that men has ever been alive was not 1960s or the 1800s or back when," I dislike that argument so much. There is no better time in history than right now. Things are so much easier. And so for the people that always want to kind of step back and place themselves back in history and actually live in that spot to either prove a point politically or morally, I just don't get it. I never have, never understood it.
Sherry, I was just making a joke. Sorry that upset you. I was making a joke about you putting in dumbshoe.com. I thought it was funny. Maybe my dry sense of humor is not translating tonight because we're sitting at $15 and it's $7.45. So let's see. We've got, but I don't think we addressed the point. It's just about living in the past. What benefit does that have? Why are you wearing it? Like, what would your guess be? Why is she? Yeah, why? Whatever the thing is called. Why would she be wearing that to a press conference?
I mean, it could have been impromptu. It's hard to say. I know that a lot of black people.
How many people
to keep?
What? What do you mean a lot of black people? Name one
that wear that to bed to keep the the pillow cleaner.
Right, but she's not in bed, and she's not in the plantation in the field, and she's not working, and like. It's a dog whistle. That's all this is. It's saying that I understand your oppression. I embrace that the slavery in my history, and I hear you and I see you. To me, I consider it to be absolutely disrespectful to the trials and tribulations that people went through in slavery. There's no benefit for you to wear that. There's no cultural significance for you to wear that. There's no reason, fundamental reason to wear that. And I don't understand it. I mean, it's like, why am I not wearing a visor and a freaking a metal helmet walking around? Why don't I just go ahead and carry a full suit of armor? And my German heritage, my Austrian heritage, I'm going to go ahead and represent that. Why don't I wear togas walking around? I just, maybe this is my trigger. I think this is fucking retarded. I just can't, I can't understand why somebody would do that. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I know you're not bothered by it like I am.
I'm not, but I also get like the new hot lady on Facebook or YouTube. She's got millions of followers, and all she does is she's an Amish person who left their community to go start a cooking channel, and she wears the traditional garb. And you're like, you're wearing that, but you're not in the Amish anymore. Same concept, right? It's you've kind of moved on from something. So why are you still?
Well, the Amish are still relevant.
Yeah,
the Amish
she left the society altogether though. She drives and has computers and is now posting all of these cooking channels, like, recipes and stuff.
Fair enough. But to me, if you're a politician and you're wearing that, I'm just not understanding.
Right. Well,
it's like when Hassan Piker wore the Maoist tunic. I mean, he was making an ode to it's a dog whistle. Let's let everyone know, hey, I'm a Maoist. I'm a socialist, right? So what is she saying? I'm a slave? I deserve reparations? I don't know. I just expected more of an explanation. I expected you to help me understand this. I'm very disappointed that you didn't explain to me what she was thinking at the time. Jeez, Leeroy.
Wish I could. I'm sorry. I can't help you there.
That clairvoyance thing really is a pain in the ass. But okay, but do you find it stupid, or do you don't care?
I don't.
No,
I don't care.
Okay, well, I care.
I care about the policies. I don't give a crap what somebody looks like who's trying to sell a message. If you're trying to sell a message, maybe you should dress a little more professionally, right? Don't kowtow the way Hillary Clinton did with the hot sauce, or change your accent the way AOC did. Same thing.
That's right.
Don't do that. But honestly, I don't care. Just tell me what your policies are, and let me make that decision.
But Tom Shin says, Matt, you might look good in green suspended shorts and lederhosen. So that's my point. Is I wouldn't wear lederhosen, and I wouldn't wear a foxhound cap with a quail feather sticking out of it. Okay, like I just dress normal. Okay, we know you're oppressed. Like it's annoying. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to wear my Sherlock Holmes hat and get myself a giant pipe and I'll be like, Marty Penny. Holmes.
Call me Watson. Call me Watson.
No shit, Sherlock. Keep digging, Watson. What's up?
All right.
Okay, I need a brief second. Leeroy, talk about something. Where?
Can do.
Fuck. Leeroy, talk about something, anything.
All right.
You got it.
Here.
No, I'll show it. Hey, this is a good one. You'll love this. No, it's too late. Holly lays it down. This is yours. This was for you. I found this for you, and it's next. So just watch this. This is about Holly laying down where we're going as a kind of like a Orwell dystopian type future, and he's laying it out for us, and you're going to have a field day with this. Enjoy it.
What if I told you that a store like Staples, for example, charged more online based on your IP address or on your proximity to a rival? What if I told you that Target's shopping app tracked your location real time in order to charge you as much as $150 more for a vacuum the moment that you enter their store? What if I told you that Lyft has charged 55 separate writers in my home state of Missouri 29 different prices for the same exact route at the same exact time, with a difference of $37 between the different fares. These are all documented cases of what we are now calling AI surveillance pricing. That is really, in a nutshell, when the corporations work with the AI companies to harvest your personal data. And I'm talking about your home address, how many children you have, your internet browsing history, everything they can get their hands on, and feed that data through their complicated algorithms, which of course are totally opaque and unavailable to you, in order to force you to pay the absolute maximum amount of money they can get out of your pocket for every single product. This is one of the biggest scams in American history, this marriage between the AI industry and these mega corporations, and they're trying to pull it off against every American consumer. AI surveillance pricing is the unholy trinity of everything Americans hate: spying on people, ripping them off, and taking away jobs. Let me just talk about each of those briefly in turn. First, spying on people. Did you know that your neighborhood grocery store is amassing your data and tracking your purchases, all for their profit? For example, take Kroger. Kroger is not just a grocery store, though it is certainly that, one of the largest. It is a data-selling mega corporation. Kroger's loyalty program has a treasure trove of data on you if you're one of their customers. One Kroger customer got a copy of his shopping profile recently. You want to guess how long it was? 62 pages. 62 pages of personalized data on this one person based on his shopping history. Last year, Kroger earned over $500 million from selling the data that it harvests from its loyal customers and giving it to other corporations. You know, that accounts for 33% of its net income last year. A third of its income came from selling the personal data of its own customers. Let me just say that again. Kroger made $500 million by tracking its customers in store and online and then selling that to other people. Second, ripping off consumers. You know, AI weaponizes your data against you for profit, and I'll give you an example. On Delta's second quarter 2025 earnings call, Delta's former president, Glenn Hounstein, revealed its partnership, Delta's that is, with an outfit called Fetcher, which is a company that specializes in AI surveillance pricing. Now, after that earnings call, Bloomberg uncovered a Fetcher white paper that describes using AI with airlines to replace simple, flat fares with a complicated pricing scheme that will vary the fare based on what they believe individual customers are willing to pay. Fetcher went on, this company, to say that it's time for the airlines to enter an exploitation phase of AI technology. Think about that. These companies are salivating at the prospect of using AI technology and your personal data to exploit you, and they're not even pretending otherwise. Finally, taking away jobs. You know, this practice of surveillance pricing is making its way to brick and mortar stores. It's not just online. Here's an example of that. Kroger and Walmart and other retailers are rapidly introducing digital shelf labels all across their stores. We'll give you an example over my shoulder here of a picture. Here's a digital shelf label. These are appearing everywhere across the United States. These labels can be used, because they can be changed instantaneously, they can be used to implement AI surveillance pricing in the store, not just online. Now, of course, this will end up costing jobs in the store, certainly, but think about where all of this is heading. Delta's former president, I mentioned a moment ago, really put it best when he said that the goal of the industry, the goal of all of these industries, these mega corporations and the AI industry that's working with them, the goal is to charge what they call personalized prices, as if it's a benefit to you. Personalized prices. Here's what he said. This is a full re-engineering of how we price and how we will be pricing in the future. We will have a price that's available on that flight, on that time, to you, the individual. Let me just translate. In other words, they're going to figure out how they can rip you off one person at a time. They're not going to charge you the same fare they charge your neighbor. They're not going to charge you the same fare as the guy sitting next to you in the seat. They're going to figure out how they can bilk you out of every dime they're willing to pay every time you step on an airline. And it's not just going to be them. It's going to be the grocery stores and everybody else.
So big, look, it's a huge topic, right? AI, good and bad. So I've been using it, and there's some bugs, and what it's created for us has been absolutely incredible. But I can understand people's trepidation. I want to get your thoughts, Leeroy. I'm handing it over to you. Please take it as long as you want it.
So I'm going to have a little bit of a different take than I'm expecting that I'm going to have a little bit of a different take than Matt, because I absolutely see this as I saw this coming down the pike the moment AI hit the shelf. The idea is that they're going to contort, they're going to customize these prices specifically for each household depending on the zip code. Now, is that right or wrong? Honestly, they've been doing it for a long time anyway. They're just using AI to kind of help enhance what that profit margin is. Okay. And is it a new tool that corporations can use to try and get more profit margin out of a person or an area? Absolutely. Is it wrong? I'm going to tell you, I don't think it is. There was this really interesting movie that I saw. It was back in 2014 with Jake Gyllenhaal. It was called Nightcrawler, where he was trying to sell a product. And at one point, there's this great quote in the film that says, "The true price of any item is what somebody is willing to pay for it." Now, if you don't want to shop at Kroger because you feel like they're doing zone pricing or they're using AI, right, then don't shop at Kroger. Or better yet, make the AI work for you. Go get yourself a VPN and don't let the computer know that you live at this particular zip code. Look at Google where Kroger has the lowest prices in the nation, then make the AI think that I'm going to place an online order from that area so that I get the very lowest price. Then you just go pick it up, right? And I say that because there are tools absolutely at the corporation's disposal to try and get more out of you, but there's also tools that you have as well. And I say that because that sets up a set of goalposts, right? For the people who absolutely care, get your VPN. Do that. There are quite a few people that may not care at all. And then at the upper end of things, those are going to be the people that are more subject to the zone pricing or AI type pricing, and maybe they just don't care. And again, if they're willing to pay for it, if they're willing to pay for the convenience of this inflated price, just so they can bring home that gallon of milk that much sooner or have it delivered, is that really wrong? That's my question. I don't think it is. Corporations have been doing this for a long, long time. They're just using AI as a tool set now to help bolster their bottom line. That's just my take on it. And, I like Josh Hawley. I do. Generally, I agree with, we were talking about this a couple weekends ago when we were trying to figure out where everyone landed on Vivek Ramaswamy versus Amy Acton here in Ohio. My vote was leaning towards Vivek, but that doesn't mean that I agree with all of his policies. Same thing with Josh Hawley. I agree with about 80% of his policies. This is just one where he's crucifying somebody that I'm not willing to go there. Corporations have always been trying to get every last dollar from you, and it's a situation of buyer beware. If that is something that you truly want, you'll end up paying for it. And if it's not, you'll go to a competitor. That's just my take on it. You need more time? Brian Moody donated $10.80, says, "Thank you for supporting the show." Brian, thank you so much for your donation. You the man.
Whenever it says that, it's default. Thank you for supporting the show. So it's us that, you didn't know. It's my fault. Oh, I got to get it fixed. And then one more.
Robert Petrowski. Patrick loved the show. The woman who killed his chill. Yeah,
Patrick loved the woman who killed his chill. Patrick. Oh,
I
are you
bet
talking
you
about
meant child.
Clancy? Yeah, Clancy. That's his name.
Oh.
That's the crazy bitch's husband. Okay, so if you guys can't tell, there's stress here because the donation system is constantly trying to tweak and peak. We're trying to fix this live. Makes this really hard to do the show, and so we're trying to work on this at the same time as we're not doing very well. So, like,
he's
we're in
troubleshooting on the fly,
yeah,
which is
and
very
I'm-
difficult to do.
and it's
while
really
you're
hard to
running the show.
and it's really hard to raise money for the show when I'm trying to fix everything and we can't give you a show that's proper. So it would be really nice if we could just help the show. Okay? Help the show as much as you can. Okay? Need some help, folks. Moving on. Antifa, here's the flock camera rising. So this is the question about the flock camera. Is it constitutionally valid to go ahead and record people when they've done nothing wrong? Is it okay to track their license plates? Is it okay to is it okay to take their photograph and collectively, passively collect information on them without a warrant? Is it okay? Well, you have no public privacy. Yeah, but you also can't get a finger up the colon just because you're outside, right? You can't get a cavity search from a cop because they want to. So you have a reasonable expectation of privacy where your constitutional amendments are not violated. And I think people are a little tired of it. Here is Fox News talking about this. Listen to this while I try to go fucking figure this out.
Fury over flock cameras is growing across the country. Critics call them round-the-clock surveillance. Supporters say they're a powerful crime-fighting tool. Now, Congress wants answers about all the data they collect. Senior national correspondent Rich Edson reports live for us from Washington. Rich.
Hi, good afternoon, Jackie. Senator Josh Hawley is demanding information on how Flock places its cameras, what it does with the data, and how police officers access it. In a letter to Flock Safety CEO Garrett Langley, Hawley writes, quote, recent examples of abuse and misuse of personal data reveal the woeful lack of safeguards in these systems. Your company's internal policies are, in practice, the only safeguards for hundreds of...
Brian Davenport says, unless you are ICE. You are. It's second grade English, bro. Y-O''RE. Unless you are ICE. It's just second grade English, man. It's not hard.
Millions of Americans. Hawley cites alleged cases of police employees accessing data for personal reasons and errors that he says led to innocent people being stopped or arrested. Flock operates a network of about 120,000 AI-powered cameras that record and analyze license plates and vehicle characteristics. That level of surveillance has drawn criticism from Republicans and Democrats. In Tempe, Arizona, for example, local officials turned off their Flock cameras. Flock CEO says Americans need privacy, but also safety.
I value my privacy. My family values their privacy. My employees value their privacy. But what we're talking about is safety as well. And so I think when people talk about just one of these, privacy or safety, they're prioritizing the wrong thing. And what we have to prioritize as a country is compromise.
In a statement, the company says, quote, we look forward to working with Senator Hawley and the subcommittee to provide additional context about how our technology works, the safeguards built into our platform, and how law enforcement agencies use Flock to solve crime and find missing people. Flock
Right. So progressive DAs can then let them go or give them a light sentence based upon whether they wear a dress and have a penis or not. I'm not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of this in any way, shape, or form. I'm a fan of AI in a lot of ways. It is revolutionized. Sure. We were hoping that it would make things a lot easier for people, but it seems like it's creating a little bit of challenge for us right now as I'm behind the scenes trying to make this work.
So
I understand people's trepidation. I understand their hesitancy. Okay, but you have to understand. This is the way people felt about the printing press. This is what people felt about telegraph. This is what people thought about the telephone. This is what people thought about radio broadcasts. This is what they thought about TV broadcasts. There's always been a sense of trepidation with new technology. There was a massive issue between VHS and Betamax, HD DVD and Blu-ray. This isn't the first time that we've been told Y2K, that the whole world's going to end because computers are going to roll at 2000 and we're all going to die. What happened? Nothing. And nothing would have happened. They did projective rollovers and nothing was taking place. There's a sense of fear and trepidation for the unknown, and I get that. When we went from 8-track and went to cassette, when we went to cassette to CD, when we went from record player, I get it. There's always a little fear. But Leeroy's right. Fort Meade has been doing this shit since the 50s. Since Ma and Pac Bell were created, the government has been listening and recording conversations that you've had. And is that okay? No, it's not okay. But you don't even know the 10th of it. That's what Leeroy and I are trying to say, is that this is nothing compared to what they can do and will do. And you had all of the notification in 2014 with Snowden in 2012, and you didn't care. We extended the Patriot Act. We put people in place who were going to remove our privacy even more. We re-upped the Patriot Act, and you keep voting for these people. And a lot of them are Republicans. So, my empathy and sympathy level for us to be upset about this is not high. Because libertarians like Leeroy and myself, who is not a libertarian but a constitutionalist, have been screaming from the rooftops that there is no such thing as privacy. It is an absolute illusion. Because anytime the government wants to come in and violate your rights, they can, they will, they have. Leeroy, go ahead.
So the question, this is going to come down to the court system, honestly. I think that the balance that is going to have to be struck within the court system is between the Fourth Amendment, right, the right of the people to be secure in their possession, in their persons, houses, papers, effects, blah, 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 blah. Now, it's already been ruled that you do not have that same level of privacy when you are out on a public road. That has already been determined in the Supreme Court. So the real question then becomes, what reasonable expectation of privacy do you have? And I think that's going to be the more interesting legal piece. This was something that has been hashed over before, and I hate to say this, but I think this might be an erosion of more of our personal liberties.
Right.
And for the Americans, there is this undisclosed movement. Dawn Bradley donated $10, says, a little to help. Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
Dawn.
Thank you, Dawn.
You're
Love
awesome.
you. You're the best. Yes.
So I think the real question is, will the courts find that people do have some sort of reasonable expectation of privacy in terms of mass public surveillance, right? That'll have to be determined in the court. The other thing is this movement that we've seen. It's all over the news. It's all over social media of this movement of Americans who are more than willing to sabotage these cameras. The company that owns them, Flock, they then sell that data to police stations, and you're hoping that they're selling it legally, that everything that they're acquiring, if they're looking for a license plate, that it is done with the utmost respect to everyone else's privacy. But you know that's not happening, right? So I think this movement of Americans to literally cut these things down or shoot paintballs at them or try and blind them with lasers. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I find that to be the most hilarious thing ever, and I am all for it. I support the people who do that kind of thing. I think it should send a pretty clear message, although ultimately at the end of the day, it is still illegal because you're destroying somebody else's property.
Did you know that speed trap cameras, the popularity of speed trap cameras with the populace 10 years ago, do you know what the stat was of people who felt negatively about speed trap cameras?
No.
It was like 92% of America was adamantly against speed trap cameras. And wherever they put them up, I mean, there was a constitutional court case that was about these speed trap cameras and why they are unconstitutional.
Yeah.
Okay. So recording for fines and punishment is not okay, but recording for potential evidence against potential crime is okay. Is that what you're saying? So you understand me, right? Because a speed camera, it clocks you, it shows you make an illegal U-turn, and it gives you a ticket, and you get it in the mail. Unconstitutional. Right. Essentially, it's like a speed trap law. It's the same exact thing. It's monitoring you committing a crime, then giving you a ticket. It's entrapment. But recording you doing everything you do and cataloging everything and every move you make in the potential that you create a crime or commit a crime or are involved in a crime then could lead to criminal culpability from a misdemeanor or felony standpoint. So let me ask you a question.
I mean, it's not unlike the first segment that we covered where we were talking about AI making these customized price scales for everyone depending on their zip code. This is the same thing, right? You're taking a private company who is then acquiring, the wealthiest zip codes in America, formulating a price scale specifically for them, and then selling that information to other companies. This is no different. This is a private company who is collecting the data and then selling it to law enforcement. They're both, in a weird way, they're both kind of violations to some degree of your personal privacy, to some degree.
So what is stop? Let me ask you this question. What's to stop them from monitoring your Ring cameras and going into your Ring cameras with the same intent to ensure that you're not committing some sort of crime in your home, like child abuse or spousal abuse, or maybe doing a line of cocaine, or watching some Skinamax while you masturbate caged farm animals, whatever it is. What about then? Oh, well, no, that's my own home. Well, what's different about your car? Because domicile law also extends to certain vehicles. You understand that, right? In an RV, it's an extension of your home. So now you're saying, well, your vehicle is an extension of your home. Well, yes, it is, because they can't bug your car and record what you're doing in your car without a warrant. So why can they record what you're doing in your car or the movement of your car? Don't you see? Don't you see? And when you're on a tollway, you're agreeing to be filmed and photographed if you break the law and you're riding a tollway, and they can apply those laws to you because there is a fee. And if you do that, that is theft. And therefore, you're breaking the law. You agreed to do that, but you have to break the law first before they take your picture. They don't take your picture before you come through the toll. They take it after. There's a reason. Wait, there's a reason why. So you have to break a crime in order for them to take the photo. And then they do. They take it. Now, people are like, wait a second, they take my picture beforehand before I even get into the toll. Yeah, but that's on a delay, and it's not saved unless you break a crime. So is that okay? There's so much nuance here that the Supreme Court must get involved and say, no, preemptive recording without a crime is illegal. Because you can't do that on a speed trap. You can't do it on a tollway, but you can do it on a tollway because there's an exchange of monies for you to be on that tollway, and it absolutely is a part of the agreement when you're on that toll. Last thing, that means they shouldn't be able to do it on a freeway. That's the whole point of a highway or a freeway, is there are no tolls. That's why it's called a freeway. And they can't record you on that and just ticket everybody who's going 79, 80, because that's been found to be unconstitutional. So why can't, this is going to be heard by the Supreme Court. Trust me, this flock camera shit is going to be heard, and they are going to strike it down. Go ahead, Leeroy.
To a degree, it's already being set up, right? Just like this year, United States versus Porter, a very similar case. Fifth Circuit held that the LPR query in this case was not a Fourth Amendment search because it captured intermittent public road location information, not continuous tracking comparable to cell site locational data. So they're already trying to set the groundwork for this to be seen at the Supreme Court level. This is just a matter of time. And at the end of the day, I think that what's going to end up happening, and I really hate saying this, because as much as I hate the jerks who do the, what do they call it? The First Amendment audit thing.
Oh God, I can't stand those douche nuggets.
Stand outside a police station and just film it randomly for 24 hours. You're like, what are you doing, dude? Right? If the police get to tell you to go away because that's what you're doing, then how is this not role reversal? How is this not the exact same thing, just from the badge's perspective?
Right. Brian Davenport, sometimes, like, I don't know if you're a conservative. I don't know if you're a Trump supporter, whether you hate ICE. Sometimes can you tell me what the hell your political platform is? Because half the time you agree, then you disagree and just say some random shit. I get confused at who you are and what your political opinion is. Not that you have to be like, line and step with Leeroy and I, because we disagree often, but like you're diametrically opposed on some stuff. Like you're 100% against ICE. And I'm like, how? And you're like, well, the constitutional rights of illegals are important. No, they're not. No, they're not. In any way, shape, or form. They have They have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness the moment they step on the soil, or whether they're on the soil or not. Those freedoms are extended to every human being, and they're not relegated to just Americans. But as far as our constitutional laws, they broke them the moment they came in here. They are illegal.
That is exactly correct. Just because you have a certain set of rights, unalienable rights, right? That, our Constitution guarantees that to no matter who you are, but that also, by virtue, makes you subject to all of the laws therein. You can't have it both ways.
Right.
And unfortunately, that's just the way it is.
If I go jumping in Japan, you want to know what's going to happen to me? What if I go just jump into Vietnam? Hey, guys, I'm here. So, Michelle, I am so incredibly sorry to hear about your brother, and that is horrible news. It seems like a lot of great people that I know are passing away, and then celebrities, and I'm just so incredibly sorry. Oh my God, it's just incredible, dude. And then Dolly Parton, and it's just like it won't stop.
Tim Curry.
Oh, dude, wilderness girls, would you like some cookies? I mean, come on, man.
Dr. Petrolov. Yeah.
Brian Davenport says, not all of them. I'm a progressive liberal. Okay. It's almost an oxymoron, but it's not. It's like,
a little bit.
Yes, there are progressive liberals, but it's very, it's not an oxymoron. It's redundant. There's no such thing as a non-progressive liberal anymore. Folks, help cover our servers, our live chat, security, and replay storage. Folks, we just got a very interesting death threat last week, and we've had to up our security at the Don't Unfriend Me show. Things get expensive when you start making some noise. Need some help? Would appreciate it if you guys could take a few minutes and just say, hey, can I help out the dumb show? Is it $2, $5, $10, $100, whatever it is, whatever you do, someone be a hero. Please, someone help us. We need it. We got to get it. I don't want to do this again tonight.
We already missed choked. Help us out.
We already missed 200 this week. Brian, you can call into the show. And I'm confused.
We'll be good.
Why is this show something you like to watch, being a progressive liberal, considering that everything that we pretty much say challenges liberal ideology? And I welcome you here. I know I took off on you online, but you were kind of being a dick. Tonight, I shouldn't have went after your English. That was in retaliation for taking off on you online. But I'm just interested. I like it here, my kind of place. All right, fuck it then. Good. Welcome to here. I don't care if you're a progressive liberal. Just keep the CNN talking points to a minimum, okay? That's all I'm saying.
Except for that guy who reads off the stats. I love that guy.
Yeah, that's true. Antifa. There's some good stuff, good videos. Folks, we got to go in overtime tonight. We don't want to miss it. We got a lot of good stuff. Antifa attacks Trump supporters by throwing blue dye. Here's some of those progressive liberals at work. Just kidding.
It's assault.
Dude, what the fight?
Why are they letting this happen?
What the? I didn't watch
Why?
that. Dude, that's assault. And
Straight up
not
assault.
only it's felonious assault.
And
It's-
how do
it's-
you know what the hell was in that? That could have been acid. It could have been anything.
It's
could
damage to
make the-
public property. It's
You could
damage to
make
public
the
property.
absolute case that defense, deadly defense, could have been warranted there.
Right. You don't know what it
Because
is.
you don't know what that is.
No. Yep, I mean, it could be acid. It could be bleach. It could be hydrochloric acid. You don't know what it is. I mean, even if it's common, like the stuff you put in the toilet, that shit will absolutely eat you
Drain 'em,
alive.
yeah.
Yeah, it'll eat you alive. You don't know what it is. Now, am I going to shoot somebody? Yeah. Yeah, I am. Nope. You come at me and you put a foreign substance on me and you continue to do that, get in my face and then push my head against a wall and you're yes, I'm going to shoot you. Yep. At that point, 120%. It's self-defense. Leeroy's absolutely right. It is assault with unknown intent. And it must be responded with force. You're being physically assaulted. You've told them to stop. You cannot see. There's multiple people there trying to cause you harm. Am I going to pull my weapon in that? Yes, absolutely. There is. I'm not overreacting. I will pull my weapon in that situation, and anybody should. I can't get
Completely
home.
warranted.
It's kidnapping. You will not let me out of the building. Now, when he came back in, that's where you're going to go to jail for the rest of your life. You should have let. You were out of the building. You could have left, and you didn't. That's the guy who did the blue emu shit.
Right.
He left the building and then he came back in. That's how you're justified not to go to jail for the rest of your life, because he was free and out and then he came back in to cause more harm. At that point, you shoot him.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't want anyone to get shot, but I also don't want people to be assaulted with blue paint, because you don't always know that it's blue paint. Could have been anything. And I've seen too many videos doing what Matt and I did for a living for God knows how long. I've seen too many videos of vengeful boyfriends, whatever the case is, literally throwing acid at their opponents. And that kind of thing freaks me out. Don't do that.
It's the truth.
All that the poor kid who had but it looked like he had his whole noodle doused in blue paint. All he had to have said was, I fear for my life at that point.
Yeah, what I would have done is I would have put my hand on my sidearm and said, at this point, I feel like you were trying to cause me bodily harm, irreparable harm, and I will defend myself with lethal force if you continue to act this way.
Exactly.
And the moment that they take a step forward, I'm going to draw them and I'm going to shoot them. That's it. That's it. I just, folks, that is why you carry in that situation, is because you have insurmountable odds. They are stopping you from leaving, which is kidnapping, and they are assaulting you with harmful intent. That's insanity. Here is Syed slandering Trump. Folks, we are 36 minutes away from hitting the 9 o'clock hour. This week so far, we were down about 150. We made it up a little bit last night, but we're at $45.80. If you're enjoying the show, you think the show's a decent one, is it worth $5? Is it worth $10? Please help us out. It's obviously numbers are down. We know the numbers are down. We know that it's political season. We know that Facebook isn't pushing the show. So yeah, this is tough this time. This is the way it is. We need some help. Here is Syed.
I had a question for you about some criticism you've been taking in recent days from other Democrats in the state. Congressman Skolton has been critical of your association with Hassan.
You have to announce, Gene, you have to announce. You can't just pull a firearm and start shooting people. Unless there is a visible deadly threat, where he pulls a knife, he pulls a gun. If you're in a situation, the first time he poured that on you, if you would have shot him, you're going to spend the rest of your life in jail. The moment that he continued to assault you, you have to give that person clear warning. If you don't, I'm just talking about, if you want to go home and you don't want to be in prison and go through $1 million freaking legal case, you better tell somebody. How may one shoot accurately if blinded? He could have shot after the first time. The moment that that guy came in for more, by that time you pulled around and you shoot him. Yeah, I'm not going to put myself in that situation anyway. That's the problem. You know Antifa there. You put on MAGA hats. You go in there, and then you decide to have a break and go into a local Starbucks. How about you don't put yourself in that situation to begin with? That's my point. Same thing with Kyle Rittenhouse. Kyle Rittenhouse executed flawlessly and had every right to defend himself. But you know what would have stopped it? Not being there in the first place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the difference between, knowing that you have the right to do something and the absolute wisdom to not put yourself in that position to begin with.
Right. Here's Jamie Raskin, Mr. Durag himself, when he had cancer for a minute as a man wearing a durag. I don't understand it. I didn't understand it when I saw it, but here it is.
I had a question for you about some criticism you've been taking in recent days from other Democrats in the state. Congresswoman Skolton has been critical of your association with Hassan Piker. The Attorney General Nessel said today that she believed that you were perhaps making excuses for domestic terrorism. Are you going to speak with these folks? How do you respond to that criticism?
Yeah, I've had a number of conversations with folks across my party and elsewhere. I think the question right now is how do we get together to beat Donald Trump? If folks are serious about Trump being the existential threat that I know he is, then I think it is critical for all of us to come together to beat his chosen lackey here in Michigan. I think there's a narrative that he's trying to push that somehow we're disunited. There is no poll justification for that, no evidence for that. And I think there are a few people who are still nursing wounds or grievances from the primary.
Okay, let's define existential, because we hear this a lot, especially when it comes to existential threats. So what does it mean
at this point?
It is. What when we hear existential, what's the definition of existential?
Your existence is at stake.
Correct. So let's go ahead and define some existential threats. Cancer is an existential threat to humanity.
Nuclear weapons.
A woman with a dagger tattoo is an existential threat to every...
A redhead.
Right, gingers are... Not hitting goal is an existential threat to my livelihood. No.
Right. Kidding, folks.
Satan is an existential threat. Hitler is an existential threat. Nuclear warfare is an existential threat. Islamic terrorism is an existential threat. These things, honestly, the Zika virus was an existential threat to anyone who was bit, who was having a child, because it did irreparable damage to the newborns and the infants. Those things, even though they blew Zika virus completely out of fucking context, but it doesn't matter. It was an existential threat to newborns for mothers who had suffered a mosquito bite. That's what an existential threat is. So now that we've established this, how is Donald Trump an existential threat to anyone?
Right.
We have a progressive liberal, Brian. How is Donald Trump and you may go, this guy's an idiot, I don't agree with him, and then that's all I need to hear. But fine. How is Donald Trump an existential threat to anyone, which is human existence? Do we believe that he is going to start throwing people on cattle cars? That he's going to create Zyklon B factories to go ahead and take all people in the United States that disagree with him and make massive crematoriums? Do you think he's going to release some sort of level 4 or 5 stage virus on the planet? Do you think he's going to nuclear proliferation? Oh, fuck. Proliferation. Thank you. It is no longer his goal, and he wants to mass produce and deploy nuclear weapons and rain them all across the world, except for the United States. How do we feel he is an existential threat? So it's just language. It's just language. Just like when you call him a Nazi, you don't believe it. Nobody believes it. It's just right. You're just saying it. Just words.
Right. And Abdul Al-Saeed, all right, I see him as part of this. We've talked about this before. There's like kind of 3 factions of Democrats that are kind of popping up right now. And you have like the establishment guys, right? And that's like the Nancy Pelosi's, that's the Chuck Schumer's, right? And then there's the populists, right? And that's kind of the Bernie Sanders and AOC. And then there's the abundance group. And this is where I think Abdul al-Said kind of meshes in really well. He kind of meets that sweet spot between Zohra Mamdani and some of the other Elizabeth Warren nutcases. And so when you're listening to his message, and he talked about wanting to, quote unquote, stop Donald Trump. First of all, he's not going to be eligible to run again. So I don't know what you think you're stopping, right? The only hope that you have, right, is any sort of election win during the midterms, right? I think that's where he's headed with this. But it's funny because the Democrats only choose to invoke the Constitution when they think it can stop the opposition, right? The Constitution was written to protect individuals, to protect the people of the United States. And Democrats never seem to use it for that. Democrats only seem to want to use it. Stephen
Seismizak.
Ooh, that's a rough one. $10 says, come on, people, a little goes a long way.
A little
right,
does
Stephen.
go a long way.
A long way. Yes. Yes, it does. And so my point is that the left certainly seem to only want to invoke the Constitution when it serves a purpose of stopping their political opposition, right? When that's not what it was written for at all. The Constitution was written to protect us from the politicians, not one party from another.
Okay. Brian finally answered, but no, Brian didn't answer. Brian deflected. Brian said that Donald Trump said in 2000, what did he say back in 2015? Well, first of all, why are you asking me, right? Yeah. You don't know, so you're just assuming that you know what he said, and you're going to take him out of context, of course. He's joining the Republican Party because they're so stupid. No, he did not say that. He's joining the Republican Party is because even though he has been a Democrat, he has been an independent, and he was a part of the Reform Party for actually a year and a half. But predominantly, most of his life, 16 years, was as a Republican. He's been more a Republican than the 8 years that he was a Democrat. Obama turned him off at the end, but he supported Obama. He supported the Clintons. He supported Jesse Jackson's run. But he's been a Republican more than anything. You can go back as far as 1980, where he was a Republican Blue Dog Democrat. So that's not true what you just said, okay? Number one. Number two, he didn't say so stupid. This is when Hillary Clinton, if you go back right after this time, was referring people as deplorables, where they said that Republicans were the uneducated party. This was the way that we were classified in all polls and all phone calls, is someone who didn't go to college was categorized as uneducated. They changed that in 2012 under Obama's rule. And what it did is it separated the Midwest. This is also when you heard people talk about being big gun grabbers and Bible thumpers. This is when Obama was relegating people in the Midwest to stupidity and was trying to change the overall novel of spreading the South, which was considered to be the stupid party, and moved it up into the Rust Belt. This is why he went ahead and didn't believe that he could bring American business back. This is why he laughed at Romney and laughed at Donald Trump and said American businesses and corporations will never come back in the United States. So this whole new monikers from the Democrats were that we were the uneducated and stupid people. And Donald Trump said, I like uneducated people. I like dumb people. And what he was saying was using the words against them. Like, we call this the dumb show. We don't think you're dumb. We don't call you dummies because you're dumb. We call you dummies because you've been called everything else in the book. You've been called Nazis, racist, xenophobic, homophobic. So we say dummies because honestly, it's just a euphemism, and it's kind of funny, and it's innocuous, and it stands for the Don't Unfriend Me Show is an acronym. So when you say that, you're lying. You're being disingenuous, or you've been lied to, and you're simply regurgitating things that you really don't know what you're talking about. Donald Trump never said he became a Republican because people are stupid in the Republican Party. You're wrong. Second, Saeed can be president. He's an American citizen. You're absolutely right about that. 120%. And guess what? The guy will never be president. Okay?
You know, it's funny.
No. Yes, he did say that. No, he did not say that. You're absolutely wrong. Go ahead.
You know, it's funny is that for years, the Democrats have always tried to pit voting populations against each other. And when they always break it down demographically speaking, and they will say that, you know, the non-college educated whites are the problem, right? And as it turns out, that happens to be the #1 voting bloc. So when Democrats are saying this crap, they're literally alienating the one group that can get them elected. So it's insane to me that you would insult the people, the very people that could hire you for the job. Always blows my mind. And so whenever I hear this constant back and forth, ebb and flow, Dawn Bradley donated $10, says a little more. Come on, dummies. Yes, Dawn, a little more. Here.
A little more would help. Thank you so much.
So whenever I hear these common tropes that, non-college educated whites, they're the problem. They're, Democrats don't represent them. You're right, they don't. Because the Democrat Party has drifted so far left, and most moderate Americans just don't recognize those policies anymore. The only people that were holding on to that idea of Democrat identification are the people who are now so old, and they remember what JFK was like, but they don't.
Has anyone actually made it?
They don't recognize that their party has since moved on. Fair?
Fact check. Because this is what I do.
Would you ever? Probably not. You've said, though, that if you did run for president, you believe you'd win. Well, I don't know. I think I'd win. I tell you what, I wouldn't go in to lose. I've never gone in to lose in my life.
If you pick me, you're going to pick a winner.
We let Japan come in and dump everything right into our markets and everything. It's not free trade.
Mel, I
want
love
free
you.
Trade, but I want it to be like, at least we break even, right? We do something.
If you ever go to Japan right now and try to sell something, forget about it, Oprah. Just forget about it. It's almost impossible. They come over here, they sell their cars, their VCRs, they knock the hell out of our companies.
Japan, they send cars by the millions. They come off those boats.
Kuwait, they live like kings. The poorest person in Kuwait, they live like kings. And yet they're not paying. We make it possible for them to sell their oil. Why aren't they paying us 25% of what they're making? It's a joke.
Why didn't we say we want 50% of your oil forever?
Show me the quote. I challenge you. Show me the quote. I followed Donald Trump long before he ran. By the way, Mel Lowe, thank you. And Mel, I want you guys to understand something. This is where I need to say something. Mel Lowe believes in this show so much. She just spent like $350 to give us that because of the freaking conversion rate in Canada. I just want you to think about that. I want you to think about how many thousands of dollars people have put into this show who come back because they believe in it, they see its growth, and to me, that just deserves so much recognition because she's in Canada. Yeah. I don't even know what it is. What is the exchange rate up there? Like 40% now? It is a ridiculous number. It is. What is it? Can you look it up for me, please?
Yeah. I'm looking up.
It is horrible. It's like 40 cents on the dollar, some shit. And she just knocked out goal in one shot because she is who she is. $206.46. And she sees the struggles. She sees how hard we're working.
Cents.
That's horrible. Yeah. 72 cents for every single dollar. So do the math for me. That's 30%. So 206, that's 30, that's $20, $60, $120 for that conversion. Am I right about that?
Right.
It's unbelievable, folks. That's what she just spent to give us 206. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. God bless her.
Yeah, that means she forked over $270 of her own money.
Oh, okay, 270. I was a little off. I doubled it. Well, either way, we appreciate you.
We love you, Mel.
He said that he was going to run in before. No, wait a second. You just lied. He said that when he was going to run in before. Just don't want to hear it. Trump derangement syndrome. No, you lied. You told me he said it in 1980 with Oprah. I just proved that you lied. You then told me he said it before in 2015. That's also not true. And he didn't say it in 2012. So when did he say it? Give me the specific time. I can tell you when it was. I can absolutely tell you. And you're picking the wrong time because actually it's when Hillary Clinton called us deplorables. So this was well into 2016 because remember, he didn't take to office till 2017, January 21st. So Remember, this is in 2016 he said this, and that's when she came on and said baskets of deplorables. But this is also when they said uneducated. Dude, I just laid it out for you. You're wrong. So as a progressive liberal, not only are you wrong 3 times, but now you're going ahead and deflecting and moving the goalpost. So got to give it to you. Merry Christmas.
And there's a flag on the play.
And you get this. Maybe. Aw. Come on. Shit. That was supposed to work. Folks, we're at 272.26. And Mel says, finish it off, dummies. Yeah, I mean, how can you not at this point for doing that? You do lie, Brian. You just lied. He said it a few different times. I already told you. I gave you, Brian, I gave you context. Yeah, I gave you context, Brian. I gave you context. I told you why he said it. He was saying it tongue in cheek. He was doing it to say, oh, I like dumb people, because everyone was calling us uneducated and stupid and Bible thumpers and gun toters and us uneducated, xenophobic, homophobic. Don't you remember these things? See, the thing is that you don't, because CNN never told you. The difference between us and you is they don't tell us how to think. Brenda Shepard, here we go. Thank you, Brenda. I know Patricia says I'm right. All right, here's the I'm trying to get this eCam bar to show the countdown for goal. And it's not working, but that's okay. Here is Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh, the gift that keeps on giving.
Oh my God, it's like herpes. So Marjorie Taylor Greene goes, first of all, she has a big wedding and she shows her, $20,000 engagement ring in this giant Vegas. Like it looks like I don't know. Like she hired Michael Bay to do the movie, and her wedding day, whatever it was. Now she's complaining that she was invited to the Texas Republican primary event, and she's like, I'm not going to go. Chick, you weren't even invited. Here's the quitter. Watch this. You're going to love this. Oh, and dude, I'm going to cook the shit out of her, so bear with me.
You guys are not going to believe this. This literally made me laugh today. So let me tell you what I just found out. I found out that my name is on the website for the big GOP convention being planned in Dallas, Texas, coming up for the midterms here. And so, yeah, my name's on the speakers list. And I found that absolutely hysterically funny. And I was like, well, what kind of speech would I even give? I mean, imagine being a Republican campaigning right now. What do you campaign on? Do you campaign on no more foreign wars while the president...
You quit, bitch. You don't campaign on anything. Right. You quit. Why do you look like Dr. Fauci in a wig? Every day you start looking like...
Wait, don't unpause that, because I want you to notice something.
Yeah, show me.
Her one cheekbone is sitting way higher.
Oh, I know. Oh, yeah,
it's weird.
Yeah, that's some filler for sure.
Odd? Us into a war with Iran on behalf of Israel. Is that what you campaign on?
Well, that was some weird
shit. Do you campaign on affordability, lowering the cost of housing and groceries and gasoline?
No, you quit.
That's pretty hard to do, especially under full Republican control. Affordability has not gotten better. Cost of housing hasn't gotten better. And gas and diesel is not better at all because of the president's broken campaign promises and betrayal of him running off and going to war with Iran and bombing a children school, blowing up a bunch of kids, and then
she's so
totally
stupid.
denying it or claiming it's under investigation.
Don't forget, she suggested space lasers started the California fires.
Oh, wait, stopping the trans agenda.
No.
Well,
no. Jewish space lasers. Yeah. Get it right. Not spaces, Jewy juju space lasers.
When Senate Republicans refuse to pick up the bill, my bill, as a matter of fact, that would make it a felony to perform transgender surgeries and treatments on anyone under the age of 18. My bill passed the House, but Senate Republicans haven't touched it. And oddly enough, Vice President J.D. Vance, that was actually, he was the leading Senate sponsor when he was a senator. So odd they haven't touched that one. Maybe they really don't mean it. What do you campaign on? The Maha agenda? Oh, wait. They gave full protection to glyphosate. Kind of hard to campaign on Maha on that one. And COVID vaccines are still running rampant because it still has FDA approval. And then they approved another mRNA vaccine for the flu. Jeez, I mean, where do you go from there? Oh, we could talk about like putting America first in our food supply, except the president just threw American cattlemen under the bus and is now going to import a bunch of foreign mystery meat, I guess from Argentina, oddly enough, where they just sent the meat back because it had problems. Even China rejected Argentina's meat. So it's pretty tough to find things to campaign on. I can't imagine what kind of speech I would give.
And folks, I'll let you know that Marjorie Taylor Greene has never rejected a piece of meat in her life.
Which is why I won't be giving a speech at the GOP
And we're all grateful for
midterm
that.
convention in Dallas. So they need to take my name off of the list. I'm not a Democrat.
Bitch, your name ain't on the list. Deborah Boggs, great show.
Deborah
Love
Boggs.
Leeroy, my fellow Ohioan. Thank you, Deborah. You're not on the list. There is no list. You're not on a list. You weren't invited. Nobody wanted you there. You
Saw her name
crazy.
and didn't realize that people were actually just going to be talking about her, that she wasn't invited.
Dude, talk about getting upset about something that didn't. I'll take things that never happened for 500, Alex. This is what happens, you dumbass, when he told you shouldn't run for Senate. You're unpopular. And now I'm going to expose you and embarrass you. But we hit overtime. Thank God we needed this. So, but guys, I am so sick of this shit. God, I hate this. Can someone sign us to a contract so we can get this done? Hold on.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is unqualified to speak in front of large crowds. She basically she sucks the IQ from the audience in a way that nobody would appreciate. It's horrible. I do not appreciate her. I didn't like her as when she was a Republican in support of Donald Trump because, every time there was a speech that was to be given, she would just sit at the back of the room, or it was actually when Joe Biden was the president, and she would just sit at the back of the room and just yell terrible things. And somehow some people liked it. And I was just like, now we've become as bad as the Democrats. Like, no.
Yeah.
She's a terrible person.
Speaking of Democrats, Brian Davenport says, Dodi Estes, that's an unusual name. I never heard it. But there's always a first time. Yeah, especially when you get carnal knowledge with a woman. You'll no longer be a virgin. When that happens, Brian, enjoy it. It's going to be a great day if it ever comes. Moving on, I heard Marjorie Taylor Greene is looking for a new beau. She's married now, so she's ready to cross that threshold and quit that relationship like she quits everything else. Why am I so mad at her? Well, I don't know. I'm going to bring proof. Because this is what I do. I told you a long time ago that Marjorie Taylor Greene was a complete shill. She wasn't a Trump supporter. She wasn't MAGA. She wasn't a true Republican. And I'm gonna take this back so very, very far. Watch this. Let's take a look at this. Do you remember this? Some of you may remember this because actually I bring receipts. See, Brian, this is what it looks like when you bring receipts. It says some of you won't get, this was back, take a look, September 4th. Leeroy, I need you to go ahead and confirm. September 4th, 2025 is when I wrote this. It says, some of you won't get this. I've been saying it for years, but people still act like Massey and MTG are the good guys. Now they're hanging out with Gloria Allred to go after Trump, as all the pedophile signs are behind her. And then she denied, and so did Massey, that she called Trump a pedophile. Well, then the interesting thing is, if you take a look here, look at this post.
Right.
Now here, look at this.
Well, Thomas Massey and MTG said if the DOJ redacted any of the names from the Epstein files, they will be they will personally read the names on the House floor. They lied. They don't have the names. Political investigators, agitators,
Instigators.
manipulators,
Yep.
frauds, instigators.
That was in 2025. Then I want you to see this. Thomas Massey comes out and goes, thoughts on this poll? Please reply with, when are you going to read the Epstein names if you are a paid troll? So here it is. This is the 2028 presidential straw poll from Thomas Massey that he put out, that he would have 45% approval to be president. But this is the guy who promised that he would release the records. So here's me. Here's Marjorie Taylor. She says, you don't have the names, at least I don't. And she's referring to Massey. I offered to read their list of names on the House floor at the press conference. What do you mean you don't have them then if you offered to read them? If they wanted to go that route, but the victims want the correct process and the law to be followed, which is to release the Epstein files. That would provide actual evidence instead of a member of Congress reading a list of names without the actual evidence. I hope that clears up any confusion. I said MTG is part of the Epstein class. Folks, let me just be clear. I told you who she was. I go after our own. She never was our own. She's a horrible human being. She's a piece of shit. She's always been a piece of shit. And there you go. There's Marjorie Taylor Greene. Great job, dummies, but I would really like to save up and fly down and bother Matt and Olivia in person. We would like that too. Why don't we talk about that? Maybe I'll just buy you a damn ticket. Anyway, moving on. Here is, let's see, what are we going to do? We're in overtime, almost. Here's Tyler Fish. He decided to go ahead and dress up as Jordan Peterson and do an imitation. And I will tell you, it is absolutely redonkulously funny. Enjoy this.
Like Greta Thunberg, I'm going to quote her right now and say, how dare you get down on one knee and give me 20 Black Lives Matters. I'm Dr. Jordan B. Peterson, and this is my masterclass. Cut! It's like, why in the fuck are we using the word master? It's like, no, it's comical. We're using outdated slavery terms. It's like, I'm triggered. Goddamn patriarchy. Life really is not about personal responsibility or starting a family or working hard. It's about how many bloody pronouns you have. That's it, dead ass. Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, see, there,
Yes,
sir.
do you like surprises?
Are you feeling triggered? Are you feeling safe? It's like these ideas have been living rent-free in my head for a long time. You know, Robin DiAngelo, she once said, be less white. It's bloody amazing what Martin Luther King did, you know. Well, I have a dream, too. It's like, I have a dream white people will just sit down and shut up. I will teach you how to be more inclusive, even to the pedophiles. Excuse me, the MAPs, or minor attracted persons. They should have a seat at the table too. Might be the kids' table, but let them sit down, let them eat. I'll be teaching you about all the 4,969 genders. What do you see here?
Kitten?
White supremacy.
I was misgendered at a holiday party.
Well,
it hurt.
Surprised she didn't take her own damn life. Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives. Well, let's get to work, shall we?
Me? I'm Mike, and I don't feel so privileged. I'm more in shock. I got fired from my job because I was privileged. I don't get it.
You're helping combat racist racism.
By being discriminated against?
Wow. Cry me a gender fluid river. Daniel, would you have sexual relations with this beautiful person?
Do you like surprises?
I'm married sometimes.
We'll just go ahead and put you down for super ultra
Mr. Sauce, $10.
Transphobe.
Please don't do that.
Hey guys, don't accept donations
male.
now, please.
How about
We're
this
watching
one?
a video.
Dog.
Even worse, white supremacy. You little sissy boy. This one here.
Cat again.
The knee on George Floyd's bloody neck. And that knee is yours. Mm-hmm. Can somebody get me an emotional support cat to pet, please? Goddamn patriarchy. If you're petting a cat, it's like, it's not even consensual. So forget that. Consider that rape as far as I'm concerned. It's like, that is feline rape. It's like, no. Somebody get me some imitation lobster, please. My blood sugar's plummeting. Man. Sorry. Woman. And go ahead and check your privilege at the door.
Oh my God, that was so good.
Guys, go see Tyler. He's a good friend of the show. He's amazing. He's on tour. He's in California, Arizona, all over the place. Go see him. He is magnificent. Real quick, got a couple donations to pop up. We saw Maddie Howenitz pop up in the video. Please don't hit those in the video, folks. Let's wait and let's let the computer do it. We're finally getting all of our donations in, which is outstanding. Dumb Nation supporter, thank you for supporting the show. Obviously, this is an anonymous person, $31.20. We appreciate you very, very much. Also, Timothy Liebert says, we're going to say thank you for supporting the show, as that just came in through PayPal, $31.20 as well. Thank you guys for helping us out and getting this show. We need it. It's too damn stressful. I am so sick of this shit. It's just, you know, it sucks. It sucks. Come on, Newsmax. Come on, documentary. Come on, let's get exposed. Who's that guy? Let's go. Let's get Leeroy and Matt and Olivia a huge contract, and then we can go back to Amy and tell her to get her butt back here, and we got a contract for her. That was pretty funny, though, right?
Yes, he was. That's such a great impression of Jordan Peterson. Yeah,
spot on.
Yeah, just the way he's doing this and trying to get the mannerisms down. It was so good.
Oh, it was excellent. He crushed it. Let's see. We got more. Feminism is a cancer. And I'll continue to say it. That's all I can say.
Birth control makes women unattractive and crazy.
Yes, it does.
The dumb show is the bee's knees, and if you disagree, you might fall on some bullets soon.
Thank you very much, Hillary. We appreciate it. Here is Feminism is Cancer.
Like Greta Thunberg. I'm going to
There's
quote her
never
right.
been a woman president.
Most people vote boys
Why?
because they think boys are stronger than girls. Boys can be a better president than girls. But America's never had a girl president. Men don't want that to change to...
Men literally don't give a fuck. We literally don't care. We literally don't give a shit if there's a woman president. Why? Because our wives will finally shut up.
keep their hierarchy in mind. They want to be stronger always, and they don't want to change that.
You know what that's called? Hierarchy?
No.
The patriarchy. Since the beginning of time, all the leaders of the world, majority are who?
Men.
Okay. Who has started every single war?
The same people who fight those wars. That's called forced doctrine. You understand that every movement from women, whether it be prohibition, whether it be feminism, whether it be the Scarlet Letter, whether it be the burning of the witches in Salem, whatever it is to stop any atrocities that have ever come to women ever, has all been at the benevolence of men. Women have never overthrown a government. Women have never fought a war. Women have never gone ahead and represented all female armies. And the reason why is because you would get your ass kicked against male armies. If you destroy the patriarch, who do you think you're going to appeal to destroy the patriarch? Men. How fucking stupid are you? You have to appeal to the benevolence of men in order to destroy the patriarch, because you won't do it. You can't. You got to ask men to do it. So the reason why men fight wars is because we're the ones who fight wars. The reason why we start wars is because we're the ones that fight wars. And the reason why we fight wars is to protect your freedoms, so you can sit here and bitch and complain about it, how your tits and your vagina somehow make you fucking special. Do you think they'll put that in the documentary if I say that, Leeroy?
I'm thinking not.
What if I censor it? Leeroy, do you have an opinion on let's finish this 10 seconds, and then I want you to tell me all about this wonderful woman.
You know, I'm just gonna go hide and
Let me know how prostate cancer feels, okay? Why don't you register for the draft? Go ahead, Leeroy, get him.
I think this all comes down to as something that she has not even remotely acknowledged, which is that there is inherently a difference between personality traits between women and men. And women have always been, you know, maybe a little more sensitive, a little more warmth, a little more, you know, the maternal instinct type thing. And men seem to have always wanted dominance. They have always wanted, some level of Jordan Peterson actually describes this, which is great because we just got done watching a great comedian talk about this. But he says that by and large, most women care about relationships. They care about people. Great. Maybe they should be better. Maybe they could be better politicians. But at the end of the day, men tend to worry about things. We seem to be, there's a difference in the abstract thinking between men and women. And I wonder if this CEO type drive, nothing stops a woman from becoming a CEO right now, right? But why are there so few of them by comparison to their male counterparts? And it's about those personality traits that just men have more of that type of drive. They're willing to work themselves into the ground to eke something out. And I think that a lot of women, they tend to maybe be a little more sensible about that. And so they pull back on some of those qualities a little bit. Well, it's those same qualities that would make somebody want to be a president, right? So this woman is not doing her kids any favors. What she should be talking about is the personality differences, the personality trait differences between men and women, and why things are the way they are. It's not a patriarchy. You're talking about drive to do something that most women just are willing to sacrifice in order to start a family or in order to accomplish a different type of goal. That's it.
I think we should just replace the patriarchy with Sharia law and then find out how quickly you want it to go back to the other way.
Put it on.
Like seriously, women, just Donald Trump comes out, I'm writing an executive order. Women are now under Sharia law.
Yeah.
And watch what happens. You can't take away our freedom. No, you don't fucking have any freedom. Remember, you're under the patriarchy.
They want to be victims so bad that they watch that Handmaid's Tale and
them
don't
victims.
see the connective tissue between Handmaid's Tale and Sharia law. They don't see the difference.
Yeah. Listen, there's been times in history where men need to be grabbed by the testicles and said, hey, bro, you need to calm the hell down. There's plenty of times. Civil War. Absolutely one of those big times for sure. 100%. COVID, we should have grabbed them by the balls and said, hey, slow down. This isn't okay. There's been plenty of times throughout world history that men have needed to be grabbed by the balls. Alexander the Great is one of them, for sure. Women, no women on this podcast, I don't think. Bitches, you need to shut up and sit down. Hard. Enough. You're just, first of all, those two poor boys. We already know that one kid's gay because he's wearing a Kansas City shirt. So we already know he's gay. That kid's toast. And the one on the right, he looks like he can go any day now. So let's get our shit together, please. I would appreciate it. Thanks. Hey, school bus insanity. Do you think this is going a little bit too far? Holy crap, dude. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The psychosis in my head goes up and down all through the town. School bus insanity.
Oh, I thought she was about to start swinging.
All right, so chick went Spider-Man through that little window. First of all, some amazing upper body strength, because that's not easy. Because first of all, it's a lateral forward, which is very, very hard. You have to have extremely strong abs.
I'm wondering if she's standing on something.
I don't know, but she does a lateral forward, and it looks like she goes up and only about 6 inches from the lip of that, and then it's impressive. First of all, very well done. Very, 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 very. Like if you were stuck in a ventilation system like Die Hard, I think you would survive. Right?
That American Ninja show, she needs to be on that. Yeah.
Right. Nakatomi Plaza ain't got shit on you. You know what I'm saying? Now I've got the machine gun. Ho, ho, ho. You actually look like Hans. You know, you look like the long haired Max who, you know. Hold on, I'm not done. So this is what happened. This bus is going, and the kids were acting unruly and started making threats, and like almost fights broke out and whatever. So the bus driver pulled over on the side of the road for an hour, called the cops, and would not let any of the kids off the bus. So mother is like, let my fucking kid off the bus, because they're calling mom and saying, I'm scared. I've been sitting in this bus. It's hot. It's uncomfortable. And he won't let us out. So mother, bangs on the thing and says, let my kid off the bus right now. I want my kid off the bus. And he wouldn't. So mother scales the bus, yet probably stands on something or gets a prop from another woman and goes in there. Okay, overreaction or justified? Up to you,
want my
Leeroy.
opinion on that? Okay,
Of course I want it.
I'm gonna say that's justified. That's her kid, right? And I understand that the bus driver may have a sense of, oh, we're not at that correct location yet, and until then, he's my responsibility. I'm not letting him off. But when you're in the presence of the parent, and he would have to verify that's the parent, so maybe there's some discussion to be had there. Like, how do I know that's your kid yet?
Yeah, while I'm kidnapping your child. While I'm kidnapping your child.
It's a question. But at
Right.
the same time, if you're stuck on a bus, maybe what she should have done is call the police first. And we don't know that they're not there.
They're not there. No. He called the cops, and they've been waiting for an hour, and he won't let them off the bus until the cops come.
Yeah, see, that's...
Your kids are relegated to his authority on that bus. His job is to make sure that those kids get dropped off only at their drop-off spot, and nothing else can happen unless it's agreed upon.
Right.
He can't drop my daughter off anywhere else other than when she wants to without parents' permission. She had to ask permission to go to a friend's house and drop off at her stop. So I get it, but an hour of you keeping those kids
is not right.
But you also can't release her to this mother because he may not know the mother. He doesn't know. So what does he do? What does the bus driver do? And he obviously de-escalated, ma'am, like trying to calm her down. But holy shit, tonight's show,
honestly,
you can see a bunch of different sides.
The best way to handle that, if I were the mom, is to find my kid on the bus and just sit next to him and wait for the cops to show up, because that bus isn't going anywhere. Like all the parents are going to be circling like sharks to get their kid off of that bus. And that would be the best time to just sit down with your kid and comfort them and just say, look, it's going to be okay. We're just going to sit here and, whatever the case is until the police show up. Right. Yeah. That would be the best thing.
Holy crap.
And he can't stop. And that's the thing. She's already on the bus. He can't stop her from doing that.
Right. Right?
I'm already pulled over. Pull over farther, man. I can't pull it. Sir, I'm already pulled over. He's already pulled over. He can't pull over any farther.
All right. It's good stuff.
You want to know why I pulled you over? Littering.
Officer, that's not ours.
Candy bars. Littering and littering and littering and
littering and littering and littering
and littering and smoking the reefer.
Are you serious? Yep. Oh, yeah. Holy shit.
I can't pull over anymore. If you haven't watched Super Troopers, do yourself a favor. Excuse me, bear fucker. Oh, so wrong.
I think they're coming out with another one of those.
They're like on 3, and they were shitty. I mean, I'm just saying that the sequels were horrible. They usually are. Empire Strikes Back is the exception. I was thinking of all the times that the Democrats have threatened over the years. Hey, Brian, pay attention. You haven't seen any of these things, I'm sure. But they consider and continue to say that the Republicans are the party of violence. Just wanted to go ahead and contradict that
you mean
a little
like
bit.
we saw with the blue paint?
Or Charlie Kirk, which is coming up on a year. Yeah. Here is Dems threatening breakdown.
I challenge somebody to go and find a clip of a Democrat invoking violence.
Let's extinguish him for good. I will go and take Trump out to...
Mel says one of the little demons had jumped out a window before. There are some details missing from this. Listen, I don't... It really, none of it matters. The point comes down... The question is between the bus driver and the mom. What do you do if you're the bus driver? Is there anything you can do? You know what I mean? I got to back up the bus driver on this. I'm completely in the bus driver's corner. If I'm a mom and my kid's on that bus and the bus driver, I don't know if he could have talked to her through the window and said, ma'am, I'm not opening this bus until the police come. We've had, you know, you know what? This is why I don't drive a fucking bus. I don't know what I would have done. Here's the rest.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the courts, and we're going to fight it in the streets.
When they go low, we're going to bury them below the Capitol. That's what we're going to do.
We take them to the mud and choke them out.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
We're walking down a damn different path. We're fighting fire with fire, and we're going to punch these sons of bitches in the mouth.
By taking behind the gym and beat the hell out of them.
Now punch back, kick back, dunk over their heads, and win some fucking power.
Fight back, punch back, and make sure that they stay down. And you know what? Kick them when they're down, because they deserve it.
I think that you punch. I think you punch. I think you're okay with you okay with punching.
We are at war. And that's why the gloves are off, and I say, bring it on.
We are not only gonna punch you back, but we are gonna knock you out.
Like we're in a war right now to save this country, and so you have to be willing to do whatever is necessary in order to save the country.
Well, I am here to tell you, not only are we gonna punch back, but we about to beat you down.
And goddamn it, shut down the city! We are at war!
When they go low, we kick.
Even in states where Donald Trump won big, that it does you any good running away from Donald Trump. I think you need to go back and punch him in the face.
Let's make sure we show up wherever we have to show up. And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
God, her voice is just like literally like it's like a cat fucking a chalkboard. You know what I mean?
God, it's so bad.
God, it's just like that woman just drives me up the fucking wall. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Had it. Oh God, that was so good. Now I'm gonna stuff my fucking face with Pepperidge Farm.
A California mother was arrested. I know you want to talk about this, so I'm just going to give you the details. People are asking. Go ahead and tell me about that video, and then I'll tell you about the bus. What happened?
Which video?
Well, one we just watched, man. The 20
the one with the mom? The bus?
No, the 20 video. The Democrats literally just
violence.
Threatening.
Absolutely. And I've been saying this for a very, very long time, and I always seem to be met with some level of, oh, I disagree with you. Look at January the 6th, that type of thing.
Right.
My perspective on this is that the far left seems to be far more likely to resort to violence.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think that there's any. To me, it's very, very clear cut. When we talk about maximum government, power. Versus the absolute liberty of the individual. No libertarian has ever just said, you know what, I'm going to go and wipe out my next door neighbor libertarian. It doesn't. Libertarians want to be left the hell alone, and they don't want to see anything like that happen.
Yeah, we just want our drugs and decriminalize everything, please.
They want to leave people the hell alone. But the moment you want to start asserting policies over other people's lives, the moment you start advocating for like 90% tax rates like AOC, you're getting people all spun up. We just saw 30 examples of leftists who are willing to say, whether or not you think that's passive or not, willing to say we need to resort to violence. And that's just, it's unacceptable to me. And it absolutely, it blows my mind that these people have not been absolutely hung out to dry politically for this. Politically, I don't want to see violence, but I do want to see, when you advocate for something like that, you should be called out for it from your own party, right? And basically fired by the people that you're supposed to be there to represent.
Correct. Right. Here's the story. California mother was arrested this week after allegedly smashing a window. I didn't see a smashed window. Okay. School bus during a disturbance and climbing through a window to get her child. Now, she may have smashed the doors, but I don't know. She didn't look like she smashed the window to get through it. Calaveras County Sheriff's Office, since Mel said we didn't have the details, I'm giving it to you because obviously this is so important. And it said deputies responded to a local school bus on the 24th, a disturbance involving a parent and a driver. Sheriff office said the parent broke glass when striking the bus door. There we go. See, like I said, and was ultimately arrested on suspicion of vandalism. A 3-minute video obtained by CBS News from someone inside the bus depicts the chaotic moments when multiple students exited through the windows of the bus, which was stationary. One student said the bus got rowdy, which prompted the driver to pull over and stop. During this time, when the parent began banging on the door, ultimately broke the glass door, Meek said. Moments later, an adult woman is captured climbing through, as we had seen. Law enforcement was on the scene about 14 minutes after the bus arrived at the bus stop, so the whole information about it being an hour is not accurate. It felt that, and the law officer said it was highly exaggerated. After reviewing the video footage, the district believes the driver acted appropriately under extremely challenging circumstances. His focus remained on student safety, maintaining order, and attempting to de-escalate the situation. Summarily, the woman will be put to death next Monday. May she rest in peace. Leftists are immediately coming to her defense and saying that she's suffering from postpartum depression of a yellow and magenta color disorder that happens after you have your children. And she was trying to strangle her children with a spatula. And they completely understand how it goes and wish her the very best. As you're making a statue to her at the local PTA club and the Love's Cafeteria, where they meet every Friday to discuss that men suck and all should be castrated and sent straight to hell. We're just like Trump and threats. Yeah, if you believe that one, I'll tell you something. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Brian. Just take your meds, dude. Get your PPD under control. Leeroy, can you explain to me the socialist tax?
The socialist tax?
Yeah.
I'm unfamiliar with that one.
I
know what the socialist goal is.
Somebody making $100,000.
Sorry. Here's the socialist tax. I apologize. I did not mean to jump the gun. Here's the comment is they'll rob you blind. And it's got AOC, Sanders, and Syed on there. Abdul Syed.
Somebody making $100,000 a year. How much of every dollar should they be able to keep?
I think that the tax rate on most middle-class Americans and
Oliver,
Sean,
give me a number.
It's not that easy.
How much out of every dollar should they be able to keep?
I want to see a return on our taxpayer investment. We pay
give us a number.
Out of every dollar should they keep? It's not that simple.
Yeah, they won't talk numbers, will they? No wonder he lost to Jared Moskowitz, by the way. Now, the truth is the socialists know. They know that there aren't enough millionaires or billionaires to tax to get the money they need. They're just not. Like, for instance, what if the government just decided to confiscate 100% of the net worth of all of America's billionaires? Well, we did the math. The group Americans for Tax Fairness helps. They say there are...
Maria says, Matt, is this Brian Balls? I don't know, and I don't care, but he looks a lot like Brian. I don't know, but he's not annoying me enough to ban him, so I'm going to keep him here.
977 billionaires, and as of last June, their combined net worth was $9.24 trillion. That's obviously gone up a little bit. Our national debt just surpassed $40 trillion. And last year, our federal spending in total for 1 year was about $6.3 trillion. In other words, they can't just tax the super rich. They're taxing you. A couple with a joint income of $150,000 is going to see their taxes go way up. A single, maybe recent college grad making $85K a year is going to be paying more. And beneath it all is the arrogant view, and it is arrogant, that the government can run by the likes of AOC with the help of left-wing senators and congressmen, that kind of government knows how to spend your money better than you do.
Respect my authority!
I've got one thing to say, and then I'm turning it over to our socialist expert. They had full control of the Congress in 2006, 2008. They had full control of the Congress in 2012. They had absolute ample opportunity with Biden. They've had ample opportunity with Carter. They had ample opportunity with Bill Clinton. They could have done it. Thank you. But why is my, why, stop blinking. Thank you. Just a question. We've heard tax the rich for 50 years. Hippies used to say it and paint it on their fucking bellies. 70 years, excuse me. Why haven't they done it? Why haven't they confiscated guns? Why haven't they went ahead and codified abortion? They aren't going to do a damn thing, and none of this is going to happen. They're going to do the same thing. They are going to take their pieces of the pie, and they are going to give absolute 100% benefits to the rich, their elite class and donors, the different sides, the antithetical propositions that are on the right, and do the exact opposite on the left. They're going to fund the pockets of the NEA. They're going to fund the pockets of the unions. They're going to fund the pockets of the teachers' unions. They're going to take the golden fat calf of the Democratic Party and take care of them, and they're going to cut defense, and that is what they will do. And they will tax the rich, realize they don't have enough money, and then they will hit the middle class. Inflation will go up, interest rates will go up, all the things, fuel prices will up. You'll see what's going to happen, because you cannot tax a country into prosperity. We have said this a million times. It's never been successful in the history of the world. Leeroy, go.
Correct. You know, we talk about how to control the size of the government a lot. And if we consider that the tax dollars are the lifeblood of any government, right, then you have to ask yourself, what does getting more tax dollars or more income do for an already bloated government? And I know that Matt said that, tax the rich has been something that we've been dealing with. It actually goes back further than that. I did a piece on this. This is probably a month ago. Tax the rich was something that was originally put forth for the 16th Amendment. Now, this country went 137 years from the founding of the U.S. to, it was all funded with tariffs. For 137 years, we had no
That's right.
federal tax system, right?
That's right.
It's only been since 1913 when the 16th Amendment was ratified that we had, all of a sudden, we had this income tax. And it was first passed, income tax was set to between 1% and 7%, and only for the very top earners. Nobody else paid an income tax, right? And so what has happened since then is the more and more the government had that injection of money, well, now it's not just the very, very top earners, right? Now it's not the millionaires, billionaires. Now that has to be rolled back some. And that's how we ended up with a huge tax for the middle class. And sure, the rich absolutely pay their fair share. That's true. But what they're basically saying when they keep saying tax the rich, and they're already paying so much of that, what do they hear? That the top 1% of tax earners pay basically 40% of all federal taxes? That's not a lie. I mean, you can look it up. And so when you hear that buzzword, that magical phrase, this tax the rich, what they're really saying is we want to expand the government even more. We want more of your tax dollars so that we can invent these new programs in an era that is already absolutely ripe with fraud. How much fraud do we see in Ohio? How much fraud have we seen in Minnesota? How much have we seen in Dearborn? There's fraud everywhere, and it's because they have this steady flow of tax dollars, and politicians who are more than willing to distribute your money because they didn't have to earn it. That's what pisses me off.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. It's pretty simple. I mean, it's no other way to slice it.
You want to contain the size of the federal government, you have to cut taxes. That's it. It's not going to happen, but...
Well, right. It's not going to happen ever. Last one for tonight. Can I manspread? Actually, there's going to be two more tonight. This is another example. Conservative women who are literally wearing tight outfits, showing their boobs, their genitalia. Listen, I'm not going to complain, mind you. When these videos come, I watch. I just keep them on mute. But this is crazy. Tim Pool calls it out. And Tim Pool's like, I want to quit. That's a joke, Livy.
This lady makes me want to quit. Holy crap. I would rather be the manager of a pizza restaurant than be in a whatever this is. They call this cootermogging. That is, you may have seen it. This woman, Savannah Cannon, who I believe, I could be wrong, but I think she's on OnlyFans.
I love the internet. Cootermogging. I'm going to use that. The next time Olivia like crawls into bed like this and literally sits in bed like this, I'm like, you're cootermogging, Liv.
Yeah. The only thing
and
I
she's
can
just
think of
like
the snozberries taste like or smell like snozberries. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
How dare you? Tastes like peach.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Online hooker.
Is it true what they say about the way you people are gifted? Oh, it's true. It's true. It's true. It's true.
Make these videos where she's espousing conservative opinions while spreading her legs. I mean, literally, that's what she's doing. The faint outline of her genitals. And she's going after what gets algorithmically pushed. I would recommend you talk about Israel at this point. But maybe that won't fly with the Muslim countries. They're going to...
Shit, if she says she hates Jews, she's going to take over Candace. You know what I mean?
No, I can't watch the Cootermonger. So anyway, the point is this.
Oh, I'll watch it all day.
This is the perfect example, not of what Will Summer is saying, but of just what it means to be an influencer. And, you know, I got to be honest. Like, the more I see about all this stuff, the more I experience it, I was so naive. Not really. My views are still my views.
Oh, come on. It's better than Nazim. No communism, no exams are together. So are you trying to say that communism is better than Islam? Is that what Nazim is? Or were you trying to spell Nazism, but completely fucking failed? Thanks, Brian.
Largely believe in decentralization and liberty to a great degree.
Balls is a lot of things. Balls is a lot of things. But illiterate? No. Balls is not illiterate. He's a lot of things, I'll tell you. But the guy can put a sentence together fairly decently. He can't argue a fucking point out of a wet paper bag as he tried to demonstrate against Leeroy and I as we literally just like put purple-headed yogurt slinger tattoos on his forehead over repeatedly. But he's not illiterate. He literally...
one of those types. He's one of those types that has to talk over you when you make a point.
Right.
And if you prove him wrong, then he won't concede the point. He just talks louder.
I can't control the volume of my voice.
Right. It's annoying.
It is, just a little bit. All right, here's the rest.
But I certainly think we should all recognize the depravity of the NPC. That is the individual who doesn't think, doesn't know, doesn't care, just wants to maximize profit.
Okay, Tim, shut up. You made money, and you made a lot of money off of, there's going to be a civil war next week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Brian says Nazi. I didn't type it. The computer did, and you are welcome for the comedy. Yeah, but it's interesting that the computer couldn't figure out your versus you are, but somehow you did right there, and you're going to say that the computer got smarter and learned, or that you learned and you typed it out. See, Brian, I'm really good at what I do. And it took me about a quarter of a second to process your entire sentence and recognize the bullshit in it. This is what Leeroy and I did for a living for a long time, is whether it's topography or listening to the inflection of people's voices or doing interrogation, there are tells inside people's mannerisms and their text and everything else. So I know you took it personally and you made sure that you spelled "you are" correctly this time, and that wasn't the computer that took it personally. You did. Tim Cass made money off the Russians. They paid him. No, once again, false information, and you're lying.
That's not true.
What happened is that he had a marketing company that took third-party money from Russia and filtered through 2 different companies. I have marketing companies that go ahead and pay us too. Where that money comes from and how it's processed is nothing that we see. We have no idea where that money comes from. And in fact, it's usually 3 or 4 levels deep before it even arrives. Once he found out that that money was paid, along with some other Jack Posobiec and some other people who were taking that money inadvertently, they stopped taking that money. So once again, you've lied. Again, that's 4 times you've lied. Russia did not pay Tim Pool money. People who had ties to Russia took the money through RT Media and went ahead and filtered it through multiple layers of companies. And these podcasters, including the FBI and DOJ investigation, I quote, unquote, had no understanding of where the money came from in any way, shape, or form, and worked with the investigation and were cooperative at every single facet of this investigation, unquote. How do I remember that? Because I read it once. Brian, this is a battle of wits, and you've come unprepared. The last video... please.
I was just going to add something real quick. Tim or any of the other podcasters, Candace, Dad Saves America, any of them, they all have sponsors, right? So when you're asking who paid them or how do they make money, it's a pretty simple formula.
Right.
You get enough viewers on Facebook, you get enough viewers on YouTube, right? You come with a handful of sponsors and you can make money, right? But that doesn't mean that it's nefarious in nature. That doesn't mean that every sponsor that somebody brings in is going to be fully vetted. This is what Matt was talking about the other night. He's a little more dubious. He's far more skeptical and thorough when vetting some of these guys because we don't want to fall into that kind of situation. And when you have some people that don't do their due diligence when trying to vet some of these guys, that's how you end up with, the situation that Tim had fallen into.
John Balls
did absolutely nothing. You piece of shit, lying, fucktard, little. Remember
what I said about you not being illiterate? I was wrong. I was wrong.
Yeah.
I've seen retards put together better sentences than that.
Why? Just name calling. It doesn't do anything.
Oh, no. Everyone remembers that episode. In fact, if you actually go to thedumbshow.com live, you can type in balls and you can remember that phone call and listen to it yourself as the John Balls tries to fucking get a sentence out against Leeroy and I. Brian Dav, I love that the trolls are here. Okay, tell me why Fox got sued for so much money. Because they lied?
Yeah.
What about Newsmax? They both got sued. Yeah, you forgot OAN as well. But you know who else you forgot? CNN, NBC, ABC, and CBS for all doing the same thing and had to pay Donald Trump money, including the Wall Street Journal, the New York Post, and what's the other one? What's the other one that the chick owns?
It's a common trope.
No, hold on. What's the other? Hold on. What's the other paper that the woman owns? The Huffington Post had to pay President Trump. I don't see you bringing up that. So is it your outrage that media companies lie, or is it just bad when conservatives do? Because you completely left out every liberal station who's been sued pound for pound more than President Trump. And in fact, if you add up all the dollar amounts, it's equivalent to the $762 million that Fox News had to. So you're really not gaining any ground with me. I think all media companies are full of shit. Why are you selecting only the ones that you like who lie to you the right way? Fucker.
It's selective outrage. And you just stole my point. You just stole my thunder. That was exactly where I was headed.
No, I'm sorry. We have more balls.
Companies,
we have more balls.
Every one of these media companies has been caught with their hand in the cookie jar. Then you're not supposed to trust any of them. Then how is that any different than politicians? How is that any difference in you putting your trust in somebody else to get a job done? Specifically, the politicians. What did he say? All you did was insult
Off topic. It's not it's not ad hominem if it's true, dip fuck.
Oh my God.
John Balls was like one of the best callers we've ever had. He was. He was one of the best.
It just gives me a headache.
No, I love it because it was just it was everything he said was inconsequential. All he did was do exactly what Brian does and just move the goalpost. But do you notice how he watches every single night? But remember what he says. I don't watch the full 2 hours. Oh, no, but he does watch the full 2 hours and 36 minutes. I fucking own you. You never miss a show. You're one of my biggest fans. You've given us money. $270 some odd dollars, was it? And you remember when you said you didn't give us the money and then I brought the receipts and I showed everybody and how fucking stupid you looked? I haven't given you money. Oh, really? Well, here's all the receipts. Womp, womp, womp. Oh, I love this guy. I love him. I love him. I blocked you because I couldn't handle you? No, I blocked you because you've got literally 700 fucking accounts. Multiple emails. I blocked you on the news site 6 times. I mean, brother, you're obsessive compulsive. Like, do you have any kids? Stay away from bungee cords, bro. Leeroy, take us out. We got 1 minute. Make it happen.
Yeah, no, great show. No matter what's happening in the chat, I'm sorry that everyone has to deal with Balls. You know what? Season how this is my minute. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. When you come on this show and all you do is just name call and throw darts and basically say you're an idiot, you're wrong, you're this, you're that, you're not making any sense.
Yeah.
No political sense whatsoever. If you want to have a debate and if you want to talk about policy, if you want to talk about, you know, how to guide America down the correct path, I'm willing for that conversation. But if all you're going to do is come in here and say, you guys are stupid, you're fucktards, you're this, you're that, like you're not solving anything. You are literally a 5-year-old having a temper tantrum. And no offense, but I'm better than that. I'm better than you, Balls. Sorry.
Yeah, well, he proved that when you called in and you literally couldn't complete a sentence. Brian Davenport says, I didn't hear that, but thanks for letting me know and let me tell you about me. I was going to come for 2 months. That's a long time, bro. You would at least be dehydrated.
It's a big orgasm right there.
I didn't want to tell you that it made you feel like an asshole. I don't know what that means. But once again, this is for you. You know? This is for you.
The Dumb Show would like to announce this year's recipient of the Stalker of the Year Award. And it goes to Jonathan Swinging from Matt's Balls Nicholson. Congratulations, you dumb fucking wanker.
Look at me now. Oh, no, just look at me. Don't look at him.
Oh, get out.
Zoom in on me.
No.
Okay, zoom out. Now look at Ho's head.
Oh, God. What a douche.
So good.
I love him. He's my favorite stalker ever. I've done nothing. I've said nothing.
The Dumb Show would like to announce this year's recipient.
What was the guy on Hogan's Heroes? I know nothing. I see nothing.
That was Schultz, man.
Well, he hates Jews. He was a Nazi. That kind of scans, doesn't it? See you, Balls. Make more accounts for me so you can troll us and chicks on the right. Remember, they're on at 8 a.m. You know, you fucking stalker. You better get to bed. You're going to be really tired when you wake up. No, you're not, John. John, you've given me money. You've paid me. You took your own hard-earned money and you gave it to me. Keep owning me. Yes, please make more donations, John. We need it. All right, we're out of here, folks. Thanks for watching. Tomorrow night, Friday. Hey, tell them who's coming tomorrow, there, big guy. Here's the skinny.
Yeah. So on September 1st, we have Scott Lloyd. On September the 4th, we have the legendary Damani Felder.
Yes.
On September the 7th, we have Matt Purdy. September 11th, we have Cynthia Scott.
That's going to be awesome on September 11th, dude.
Yeah. And then on September the 23rd, we have the Idaho Mega Mom. And then finally on October the 5th, we have Chad Prather.
It's going to be awesome. We got a lot of good ones coming here. Thursday, I will be down in Washington, D.C. Balls, go make another account, big guy. Go make another account. This one's scratched yet again. God, I just love being in this guy's head. Leeroy, I love you, buddy. Thanks for being here tonight. I want to thank everybody with all the donations. Listen, We made up a huge amount from the last couple nights. I think we're now only down $60 for the week, and that puts my heart and mind at soul. Tomorrow will my heart and soul at peace. I don't know what the hell I just said. We'll see you tomorrow.
I'm trying to connect those dots right now myself.
Shut up, Leeroy. 7 o'clock. We'll see you. I love you. Thanks, buddy. It was good to see you tonight.
Peace.
Always
Love
fun.
you guys.
Good night, everybody.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leeroy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.